I'm Alan, aka Doom Wizard, and I'm here with my friends, who I think I love way too much. Introduce yourself, guys.
What's going on, guys?
What up?
I knew that was gonna happen. What's going on, guys? Ink Jedi.
Somebody else.
Got El Buzz down there.
What up, everybody? So,
He fucking froze. He's lost in time forever.
Lost in time.
That's why he moved his phone too fast.
Yeah. We got Roy and Baby Yoda down there.
Yeah, babysitting tonight. Sorry, guys.
So we are talking about Rise of the
Baby
Skywalker and the Mandalorian. It's like weeks. It's like we should have done this podcast like weeks ago, but we're just horrible.
It's all Alan's fault.
Yeah,
Just busy, man. Busy with life.
Look, I'm a pimp. I'm never busy. All right, I make time for all my hosts.
I'm on the clock right now at work. I should be there.
You are there.
You are lucky then.
That's it,
I am
man.
doing this cat.
So, what's going on, TiVo? What's going on, Antonio? Bake the snake. What an excellent name, Bake the snake. What's going on, Lords? What's going on, Paul? Where's your cigarette, Sean? Happy New Year to you. Man, so what we're going to start with? I guess we start with Rise of Skywalker, man.
Yes.
When did everybody go see it?
I saw it that
If it's
Sunday
cool,
it came out.
If it's cool with you, well, I just saw it last week.
What's up, Remy?
Sean's driving through a tunnel.
Yeah, we can't hear Sean.
Sean works in a tunnel.
I'm not driving through a tunnel. I'm sitting in my car.
No, but you keep breaking
I
up
love
really
being in a
bad.
tunnel of love, baby.
I saw
Oh,
it
really?
the Thursday.
Well,
it came
can you
out.
guys get it now?
Very first day.
We can hear you.
You got too many apps. You can't be watching porn and in the shit at the same time, dude.
What's going on, Anthony?
Okay.
What
Because
up,
I gotta
Count?
jump out of here.
And he's out.
That's perfect, man.
That's
And he's frozen in time forever.
That's it. He's
He's
just
just
gonna
gonna
say
stick
that whole pod.
frozen on the
He
screen.
now lives on YouTube. Check Sean out on YouTube. Where he's
Yeah.
now
Trapped in the Matrix.
Yeah, I went to see it Wednesday night, and it was pretty good, for sure. To me, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean,
I liked it. I thought it was great.
it
I
was a
fucking
packed.
hated that movie.
It was a
that
packed
was
house.
good.
It was bad.
Yeah, I remember talking to Alan when he was done with it, and he had some feelings about it.
Bro,
I thought there was one particular reason why I thought your reasoning was hysterical. You were like, "Why doesn't the bad guy win? Like, they should just make us."
the bad guy never wins, dude. Kyle, his arc was literally the same thing through all three movies. I'm gonna be really bad. Now I'm really good. No, I'm bad again. I'm good. That, he was so powerful, man. Like if you watch the very first the Force Awakens, that very first scene when he catches that fucking blast like with his hand and he just like drops his hand and he's like doing all the other shit and then he's getting back onto the fucking his little whatever the fuck he like lets it go. He was such a kick-ass Sith, and then it's man, Han Solo sucks.
Dude, so let me ask a question. Was there ever a time where like force healing was a thing, even in like Legends?
That's the one thing I wanted to bring up because we hadn't seen that until the Mandalorian show. Really, well, I can't remember which was first. I first saw the Mandalorian, then in Rise of the Skywalker. But I'm thinking, wait a minute, this is a new thing now. Like,
I don't think it was ever a thing.
where's it coming from?
Yeah, like I'm trying to and this is my thinking. Ryan Johnson's Star Wars completely took whatever JJ was working on and moved it in a different direction, and now JJ's like, shit, I got to retcon a ton of things, and I have to figure out how to do it.
Well, that's what I'm not so sure about. People say that he had to rewrite all the stuff, that he did, but I think the plot was always this plot. Like, I don't think, like, I didn't walk out of The Last Jedi thinking that Rey came from nothing. Snoke, I knew there was going to be more to Snoke, so I never left that movie pissed off thinking, oh my God, Rey's nobody, I knew, like, okay, now we're going to have to wait another 3 years to find out the actual story. So I think they had the overall plot from the get go, and I think it was always the plan. She was Palpatine's granddaughter. He was the granddaughter, the Skywalker grandson. Like, I think that was always the case. And then Ryan Johnson just got to do what he wanted to do in between that. But I don't think like JJ came in and was like, "Oh shit, I got to fix that Rey's nobody.
Right.
I got to fix that Snoke, backstory."
And I'm not saying Last Jedi was like terrible. That's not. I think it may have suffered a little bit from not having one consistent director, because everybody has a different vision of what something should be or how something should be filmed. Blake the Snake said The Force Awakens was actually a good movie, except those aliens Solo was smuggling. Ray should have lost, and they shouldn't have revealed Kylo till he killed Solo. Yeah, I did like the Last Jedi. I thought that movie was okay. Especially the scenes with like Luke and Leia. I thought that was kind of a nice send off.
Yeah.
But I think
I hated that.
Did
That
you?
was the worst. They look so fucking cheesy. They look like someone's grandparents.
Yeah.
That was the fucking weirdest. I felt so uncomfortable watching Luke and Leia's ghost just look at fucking Rey. It was the fucking weirdest shit. They're like, I love you, Rey. What's your what is it like? What's your fucking last name? She's like looking at fucking goddamn Luke Skywalker and Leia just like there, and they're all like, what's your last name? Like Skywalker, and I was like, God damn,
Yeah, that was the biggest slap in the face to me, was when she said Skywalker, because I'm like, you just slapped your dad in the face, who sacrificed his life to save you. Like, we don't know what her lineage was. Like, well, maybe Palpatine was like the only bad seed, and she just like threw away her whole family history, her parents who sacrificed. I can see her dad be like, bitch, I'm a Skywalker,
Yeah, that was weird to me too.
Wrong,
and I was like, well, is this supposed to be like you get to choose who you want to be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what Alan was it?
That's the first thing I thought was her parents. I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. They sacrificed themselves to save you, and you just like wrote them off like, I'm a Skywalker.
Let's be honest, her parents sucked anyway.
You would think like if like your dad's was like Palpatine, right? Like you'd have some sort of ability or power or something. They didn't have shit. They just got killed. Kept it moving.
And that's what I mean. Like the Skywalker gene seems to run pretty consistent, through so far. I mean, we don't know before Anakin, because supposedly he was made from midichlorians or whatever. But Palpatine, all we got's Palpatine. Maybe he was an anomaly.
Right.
Maybe his family's not that bad. His aunts,
Well,
everybody's
I'll tell you what though, like I thought that Rey would have been the one to die and Kylo would have been the one to live, because of the name's Rise of Skywalker makes you think, a Skywalker's gonna make it through this.
Yeah.
But obviously that was not true.
And my thing with that, like with the whole, him dying, healing, like, and the same thing with like, the child, Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him, like, so obviously it drains you when you heal somebody. Like it takes your life force and replenishes their life force. So like with Baby Yoda, it used a lot of his life force. Does that replenish? Or, like, do you only get to do that so many times before your life force is gone? Because, like, with Kylo, he used all of his life force and it killed him.
I mean, if you think about it, too, like, Yoda was, like, what, 950 years old when he joined the Force?
Yeah, he was, like, 900 something, yeah.
So Baby Yoda probably has a couple hundred years to spare. But again, right, Mandalorian takes place between, what?
It's right after
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Right after Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Right. So
the Empire's just fallen.
Now, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Well, whenever Rey healed Kylo, did she like was like, "Oh, I'm sleepy now"? Like I don't remember
I
that.
don't remember that. No,
I
I
thought
don't
she
remember that
I
happening.
thought she looked like a little exhausted. Like to me when I saw her, I'm like, oh, maybe she's like
She just
she
peeked out.
looked like spent. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime Baby Yoda does anything, he looks like me after I jerk off. He's just like,
What up, Nemesis Prime?
Well, I mean, he was pretty much. I mean, he was gonna die before she healed him, and then
yeah.
so I mean, she brought him back to life pretty much, and then she just like hopped off into a fucking wave and was like, "Peace out, bro."
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, couldn't you just heal him to the point where doctors could save him? Like, just use half of your life force. Just like, all right, I got you to the point where a doctor can take it from here. You know, like we don't have to both die. You know?
Or just kept force healing each other until help came.
Yeah, just keep for exactly. But can I tell you who I think got it the worst of all the Star Wars movies? Like they just fucked that dude over as Finn. Like they just set Finn up for failure. Like I didn't think about it until I was just watching The Last Jedi again earlier. And I'm like, damn, they fucked this dude over. Like they set him up for failure every single movie. The first movie, you know what I mean? Fail. Like goes to the end. You think he's like got his big moment. Well, first he fails fighting the stormtrooper with the staff. Fails. Then he's got his moment with Kylo. Fails. Ends up in a coma at the end of the movie. Like, all right, he's gonna redeem himself in The Last Jedi. In The Last Jedi, his big mission is to, deactivate the tracking beam that they have. Fails at that. It's like, okay, so we're gonna go back to the Salt Planet.
Yeah.
Now his big moment is he's gonna sacrifice himself and destroy this cannon. Fails at that. Has to get saved by the chick. So just completely failed. Now the third movie, all he's trying to do is tell Rey he loves her the whole movie. Fails at that. It's like, damn, this dude fails at everything he's done in every fucking movie.
Maybe that wasn't what he was going to tell her. Maybe he just was like, "Hey, I got your mail delivered to my house by accident."
Or hey, I know you're a Palpatine, so you don't bother.
Yeah.
It's funny when I finished watching the first film. I left the theater and I told Jen, my wife, I'm like, she's a Palpatine. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for it to be Luke. Like 0 sense. Doesn't make sense for her to be the kid of Han, Leia. I'm like, she's definitely a Palpatine. Yeah. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, watch. And then it happened, and she just looked at me like, oh shit, you were right. And I'm just like, oh shit, I was right. You know what I mean? Like I just took a wild guess.
Damn, that's pretty good guessing.
As much as everyone was like, oh, she's from nothing, she's a nobody. I'm like, come on, man. You're basically saying she's somebody.
Yeah.
So it had to be somebody like maybe a mainstream audience would know, right? So like
Windu's daughter,
right? So it would, like I said, it wouldn't be someone like that. Someone wouldn't know, like a Revan or a Plagueis. You know what I mean? It would have to be like someone. Who else would it be? It would be, But
I didn't know because my theory, like for a while, was that somehow it had to be. She had to be somehow they were going to explain it where she was the daughter of Han and Leia. Because I was like, okay, Han left for years. Maybe he left when she was pregnant. Somehow where she hid her, and Han doesn't know about her, kind of deal. Especially the way they hugged after Last Jedi or after The Force Awakens. Oh yeah, they had that like moment where it come out like she doesn't even hug Chewbacca, but she hugs Rey. I'm like, okay, something's up here. So I kept thinking the brother and sister thing is gonna happen,
Yeah, Chewie kept getting the shaft to this one at least. At least he got. Yeah, this is for you. I'm like,
I know. Wow. And I didn't really. I mean, I've gotten flack for saying that from some of my friends. Like, I didn't like the metal scene at the end, But I think, like at this point, like it's already been too many years. Don't even fucking.
That's why I'm like, come on, it's a little too late. All his friends are dead, right? Like,
I know. If I'm Chewbacca, I'm like, what?
Chewie's been fighting since what? Since like the Clone Wars, right? Like he's been in it.
Oh, now I deserve this, bitch?
Like honestly, he should be like a commander or something, like Commander Chewie or something.
Like, oh, now you get your medal from 30 years ago, Chewbacca. Good job, boy. Good boy.
I thought he was dead, bro. Whenever they blew up that fucking transport ship or whatever, there was only one transport ship, and then like he's alive, and then like maybe he was on the other transport ship. It was like, bro, there was only one.
I know. There was a point I thought they were just killing off all the old people, like Chewbacca, then 3PO. I'm like, fucking now 3PO's gone. Like, They're taking them all out.
Bro, that shit made me so angry whenever he wouldn't just fucking decipher the goddamn code. It's not in my program. I was like, bro, this is the most pointless ass shit I've ever fucking listened to in my life.
I don't know.
It's in his coding.
It was
I
the
mean-
most pointless shit.
What were the things you guys did like?
There's a lot I liked. Like I said, I liked the movie overall. Obviously Palpatine is a huge plus anytime you throw him back in the mix. And I liked how it was like right off the bat. You didn't have to wait. Like I was surprised how quick Palpatine and a lot of the answers were introduced into the movie. Like right off the bat, you had Palpatine. I was just like, oh fuck yeah, this is gonna be, uphill from here.
The reason Chewie didn't get a medal is because those type of things don't matter to the Wookiees.
Bro, you don't know him like that. Why are you saying that shit? Get the fuck out.
Well, he looked pretty fucking stoked when he got it. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
he always
He
likes
was like,
that.
oh.
Wookiees don't like medals. You act like you know Wookiees, bro. What kind of
Here,
fucking
Leia wanted to give you this. She did.
get that goddamn medal out of my face. Wookiees don't like that shit. He said so.
Oh man, what's going on, Perry Comics? Yeah, man. One of the things I liked was that last fight scene where Rey
Yeah.
puts the lightsaber behind her, and I'm
Hey,
like, oh
yeah.
shit. And then
Dude,
I
Rey's
wish,
lightsaber
first of all,
was-
Kylo can't fight with his hands for shit. Like he was just getting
Yeah.
tore up.
It's like a
Terrible.
bro. Kylo Ren's like a goddamn giant. My thing is, I didn't like how like in the prequels, there's all that fucking everyone's flipping around, fucking cool lightsaber things, and then
Right.
these three movies, Kylo Ren's like, huh, huh, huh.
If that's one complaint, is I wanted the fight scenes to be a little longer, a little more like, little more dramatic, I guess. Not just like
Yeah.
we're just gonna slash our way through all these guys here. Like at one point, I
Yeah.
wanted everyone that was watching Palpatine to come down and just fight them. Like,
Yeah, they were just
Yeah.
like doing nothing. Nobody was doing anything. Ray. Well, it's just crazy to me, bro. Like the Knights of Ren are so kick ass, and Kylo just straight bodied them in like 2 minutes.
right.
And I'm like, well, fuck, these are your homeboys, and you just straight beat them up in 2 minutes. Like, why are you hanging out with these 5 dudes? You just beat them up like that.
Mm.
Yeah, I did like the Palpatine scene too when he actually, because you see he didn't know until that moment that he could actually suck their life force out of them and regain the power himself.
That
I truly
was
think
weird.
that he thought he was gonna die, and he was like looking for either her or Kylo to take that mantle as the Sith Lord. And then you can see that moment when it dawned on him, they're like, oh shit, I can take the power back for myself, and start sucking out of him. And I was waiting on that line where he'd just be like, ultimate power. I was like, oh, I didn't get it. But,
Yeah, his character design was awesome. He was stuck to that machine,
yeah.
fucking crane. He was like, like I thought that was wicked. Like that place was just so cool looking. What was it called again? I totally forgot.
I forgot the name of that.
I forgot what it was called, but it had a great name. And that opening scene was really cool too. When Kylo just goes under that pyramid, and he's
that's
like,
what I mean. I was so stoked when that like just started right off the bat, and you saw Palpatine. I was thinking we'd like be waiting at least halfway through the movie for Palpatine, and then it was just like right off the bat. And even when it started to show like the shadow and panning around, to his face, I kept thinking, is that him? And then boom, it was him. It was
How
like right off the
crazy would
bat.
it be though if it wasn't Palpatine and it was Jar Jar Binks?
listen, Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks should have always been the thing.
That
I
should
know,
have
right?
If you read like the Aftermath books, I don't know if you guys read them, but they tells you what happens to Jar Jar after the Empire takes over, and he basically
The only thing I
becomes
know
like,
of Jar
like
Jar
a street
is,
clown.
like,
Yeah, he's a
What?
street clown.
He becomes like a street clown. People make fun of him or like shit on him for being a shitty senator or whatever. Like, yeah, like his end is not good. Like they purposely wrote it to be like, all right, let's give him the shittiest after story
His
possible.
whole thing, it was not good at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like they fucking like kind of hinted at Finn having the Force in that movie too. He's like, I kind of got this feeling, bro. Shut up.
Yeah. I kept thinking he was going to have the Force from like the first movie on. They kind of like kept throwing little hints out there, like that made you feel like he was a little force sensitive.
Well, he fought fucking. Who did he fight in the very first movie with the light? He had a lightsaber, like he was fucking wielding the lightsaber. The lightsaber. In
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He got his ass kicked. The dude with the staff, the stormtrooper with the staff.
Yeah,
got
straight
his ass
body.
kicked. That's what I'm saying. Like he just got his ass kicked everything he tried to do.
Well, it was he wasn't. So he was like a real big character in the first movie, kind of nobody in the second movie, and then third movie he's back into the fucking spotlight again. And then like that whole thing with him, Ray.
I think he was bigger in the second movie than the third.
Who, Finn?
He had that, Finn.
Yeah, I mean him and Rose had a pretty big storyline in 2 where it didn't exist in 3 at all.
In 3, it was like
she's like, I'll just stay here and take care of Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that whole and their whole like weird friendship of them three like being they kind of had like they were best friends kind of thing, like her, Ray, and Poe, and they hadn't really spent that much time together. It was kind of weird. Like as a
that's the movie verse they haven't. You know how it is. Like the same as comic books. There's going to be comics that delve into that time between all these movies.
What I would like to see the comics delve into is Leia training to be a fucking Jedi.
Yeah, there's like so much lore. Like that's why like the Marvel comics have been so great lately. Is like some of the, like the Vader. I mean, obviously the Vader one was like the top tier of all of them. With some of the stuff they put in those. But you're gonna see a lot of stuff. That's why the movies are great where they have that little time gap in between because you get to see.
I want no time gap, bro. I want straight from the jump.
And I want all the bad guys to win forever and ever.
Bro, the Sith constantly getting shit on, bro. I fucking hate that shit. It's just they don't. I mean, okay, so they had Darth Maul gets killed very first movie. Like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck? And Count Dooku sucks. Grievous sucks. Like,
yeah. I think now with Disney Plus, like we're gonna get a Maul series. Right? My wife just read somewhere that we're gonna be getting Knights of the Old Republic as well. It's in pre-development,
amazing,
right? Where you can tell all these old stories again.
Yeah.
Well, but none of that shit is fucking canon though, so they're gonna have to make all of that shit canon.
I think they're gonna start borrowing from Legends. You're gonna see that a lot more. Yeah. Episode 7 to 8, there was no time gap. Oh, so it takes right afterwards, huh?
Oh. And my whole thing, like, which is proved true now, is like as soon as like the movies were coming along, like with the Force Awakens and all that, I'm like, because I'm such a huge fan of the Clone Wars and all that, I'm like, just dude, give Dave Filoni the reins for Star Wars. Like, it's time for him to move on from animated to live action.
Right.
Didn't get his shot with the franchise, the movie franchise, but then boom, you throw him into the Mandalorian, and now it's like one of the best Star Wars, in Star Wars verse.
It's so good.
I mean, I don't know. I think Favreau is getting a lot of the credit, but I'm telling you, Dave Filoni is the mastermind of that shit. Like Rebels, I mean, all that shit's like the best Star Wars content for me is the Clone Wars, Rebels, like those two. Besides the original movies, like outside of the original movies, it's those for me. Then the next 6
everything
movies,
else.
Like everything else after those. Like what he did with Clone Wars and Rebels is amazing.
It's good stuff, and I enjoy it more as like a grown ass man than I did when I was a little younger, because you get it more. You like, I know where this is from, or I understand what this object is. Like when we get into the Darksaber a little later. I mean, it's just
when that came out on that last episode, I'm like, oh, are you fucking kidding me? Because there's been so many nods to, the Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm like, I'm still convinced that's got to be Cad Bane that we see, stepping like, what's the chick that got killed? Where they wonder who that person is that steps to her.
Yeah. I know.
And you hear like the spurs like wrangling. I'm like, dude, that's Cad Bane.
I don't think it is.
I mean, worlds are colliding now, so that's awesome, right? Like you're getting all these even in the Last Jedi. I mean, Rise of Skywalker. You heard all the ancient Jedi, talking to Rey and shit, and you're like, oh, okay. You have Obi-Wan and you have Ahsoka and all these people. I'm just like, wow, This is
Some of that motherfucking gold lightsaber at the end though.
Oh man, dude, I want that lightsaber. I want that lightsaber.
That's crazy, right?
Dude, the mechanism for turning it on, little like side switch, was badass.
I know I can't remember what it is. They talk about it in Rebels, don't they? Like the certain Jedi that wield the lightsaber, like the gold lightsaber.
I always thought the color of a lightsaber was representative of the soul of the wielder.
Yeah,
that's what I always heard too.
There's something about gold lightsabers, like certain Jedi wield them, and like Palpatine was like most afraid of those kind of Jedi or some shit like that.
Really?
I remember I watched something about it the other day, but I know
haven't heard anything on gold.
They kind of talk about it in I want to say it's Rebels. They have those characters that have like the fucking mask, and there's the girl that has like the double-sided gold saber.
Oh, that's interesting.
I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah,
I could just be making it up. I could be making it up.
Definitely just gonna binge it on Disney Plus, man.
Where's Remy at? Remy, you know some of them gold lightsabers.
Remy, what's the gold lightsaber? Chewbacca's lightsaber.
Chewbacca don't like metal, but they like lightsabers.
Shit.
Yeah, but one thing, like the only like big thing, like I haven't liked as much about the new movies is like it was fine in The Last Jedi where they could kind of the vision where they could see each other, but then it kind of gets convoluted, and I'm not sure how much I like the fact that like he can pull her necklace out of that out of that realm, where it's almost like portals or something where he's going through a portal and grabbing something. Like that was where I think like they try to get too cute with everything, and it gets convoluted on what you can and can't do with the Force.
Guardians.
Yellow and gold were temple guardians.
We should throw Remy. Motherfucker. Yep. See.
Remy, you want to come on?
Where you at, Remy? Want to hop in this shit?
Send him a link.
Remy's like butt ass naked, eating fucking fruit,
wearing his Wookiee shirt.
Yeah. He's recreating the whole movie in his house right now out of clay.
Yeah, Palpatine was. Look at that. Nemesis Prime confirmed.
It's from. I want to say it's from Rebels.
But that's the thing too, right? Like you see all these powers, right? And it goes to show like they could just make up whatever now.
Yeah.
Like I've never, even in Legends, I've never heard of someone force healing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the healing and the portals, whatever the fuck they're doing with that. Like all this shit's like new. I'm like, okay, what's going on with like what these guys can actually do? Like, where's it stop?
It doesn't, bro. Stop. You can have forced babies.
Yeah.
I think it was a forced baby.
I didn't really like Rey, bro. I didn't like Rey at all. She was too overpowered. She trained for like what, fucking 13 seconds, and then she's babe. I'm like, man, fuck all that shit. How long did it take?
You guys have this? Yeah. Did you guys have the same reaction in the theater when her and Kylo kissed? Is it like that? Just like
it was like girls going, "Oh my god!" And I was just like,
I would have split her some tongue, bro. To be honest with you, and then he's about to die. Because you know he's about to die. He's just gonna get a little.
Definitely die a virgin too.
Yeah. Oh man.
Kylo ain't got no buns.
He ain't fucking, bro. His body's too wide. He ain't fucking nobody.
Yeah, and like I just and I actually watched The Force Awakens before going to see that one. Because I kept thinking like are they gonna redeem Kylo in this movie? Somehow he gets redeemed, and then I kept thinking after watching that I was like, there's no fucking way you can't get redeemed after you kill Han Solo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no way. And then of course he gets redeemed. I'm like,
and to quote Alan,
Han fucking Solo.
To quote Alan, Harrison Ford is old as fuck. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's like 90.
He looked so old. Like it's kind of like his head's kind of.
How his Force ghost aged though.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like a goddamn zombie kid on that fucking thing. Like he looked. I hadn't seen Harrison Ford in a long fucking time, bro. Like he just looked like he's so old he couldn't even hold his head up straight. Like it's kind of tilted to the side.
Lando's still looking good though,
bro. Lando's fucking, bro.
Yeah, he's still
shit
swagging.
Like, oh, no,
he's like, "How's Leia?"
Yeah.
Oh man, Slip it into her DMs.
Shit was so weird, bro.
Yeah, it was out
Lando
of
gets all
nowhere.
the pussy.
He's always
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah, it was not out of nowhere. There was no romantic connection between Kylo and Rey. Yeah, I agree with that.
I didn't understand. What was the
That
point?
totally took me off guard. Yeah.
There's been. I'd have grabbed a titty or something, bro. I'm about to die.
Right?
And he didn't even look that hurt, bro. Like he hurt his leg. Like, come on, he's dead now,
He honestly should have gave her a forced baby before he passed away.
bro. I would have just killed that bitch. Like, bitch, you're dead. You're already dead. Like, you're already dead. I'm just leaving. Palpatine's dead. I just killed my homeboys. Like, I got to start over. I go to a different planet, a new life. Ben Solo on the run.
Damn. Yeah, there was no way Ben Solo could have lived after that without people trying to kill him.
Yeah, Ben Solo sucks, bro. That's the most disappointing
He
thing.
was really emotional too. Like
It was like a 13-year. It was like watching a 13-year-old girl play Kylo Ren. Like the whole. I mean,
Yeah,
but
it was.
even Anakin Skywalker was super emotional too, though.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But,
I tried. Yeah, that's my biggest peeve with those movies is Anakin, like especially Clone Wars. Oh my god.
Everybody
He's such a
but
bitch
Anakin
in
was
that.
great, except for
Yeah,
Jar
except
Jar.
for yeah. I know.
Obi-Wan was dope.
bro, Obi-Wan
Oh, yeah.
sucks.
Obi-Wan's like, dude, are you kidding me? I can't wait for the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan show. That's
I
gonna be
like
amazing.
Qui-Gon was dope. I wish we got more of that.
Yeah, Qui-Gon. I mean, the Samuel, like everybody, like this
Darth Maul
fucking
was like,
Christian.
this is
What's his name? Christian Hayden or whatever. Hayden Christensen. Or yeah, like that dude's terrible. Have you seen that dude now? Oh my god, who was? I saw a picture recently, and somebody said, who was it? They said he looked like, and it fucking had me cracking up. I can't
Who's
remember.
that?
Hayden Christensen.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, he's aged.
I thought it was you,
terribly.
Alan, that like compared his picture to somebody. Maybe it was
I don't
somebody
remember.
else.
You know, I'm always making fun of people because I have no.
That shit was fucking
When he
hilarious.
said that line about I hate sand. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, I'm leaving this theater right now. It's
Dude,
terrible.
I can't wait for the Obi-Wan show. See Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he got her pregnant, bro.
I got a force baby
Yeah.
out of that.
Hey, that's the next movie. I mean, yeah.
I'm a big Ashoka fan too.
Oh, dude, Ahsoka is
I need them
Jedi.
to do something.
top 5
ASAP.
Jedi for me. Ahsoka.
Yeah, for real, for me
Love
too.
Ahsoka.
I don't like her. That bitch
Excellent.
got weird hair.
I was so close to getting her lightsabers at Galaxy's Edge. Oh man, I was so close.
Yeah, I'm planning
It's
to go
the
there
best
next.
deal too because all the sabers are like $200,
Yeah,
but with her you get 2 of them because she's got the 2. So you get
Right.
both of them for the same $200. I was like this close to getting that
it'd be
shit.
great. I mean, hopefully we'll get something, a live action or something. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? I'm trying to think of anything. Luke appearing, I was like, that's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
It was just not like you always thought, like this whole Star Wars thing was about the Skywalkers, and then like in that last movie, you didn't really get much of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
And it's
didn't.
like,
Well, I mean, you don't get really much of them in all the last 3 movies besides Leia, and Leia should have died the second movie.
I think so too. I thought that's what was gonna happen,
Yeah.
and then she
He
didn't.
straight
and I'm
up
like,
Superman through the fucking galaxy. No,
Bruh.
There's so much shit you could dissect, like the whole like Force ghosts that come back. Like Obi-Wan wouldn't shut the fuck up in the other movies. He's like showing up every scene, And now it's like, where the hell, where are all these guys at now? You'd think they could just
Right.
reappear anytime they want.
Because
It's like,
technically, what is it? They're not technically dead, but they're alive in the Force. So,
Yeah.
like, if you're good enough, you could become your apparition. But
Yeah.
Qui-Gon wasn't good enough, so he's just the voice.
yeah,
I know. It's like
Well,
you're
this-
just chilling, trying to eat fucking dinner. All of a sudden, Qui-Gon's like saying, "Hey, what's up?
And he's like, damn. He's like,
Bored?
yeah, well,
What's going on?"
you're like, this motherfucker will not get out of my house.
Get the fuck out of here.
Obi-Wan
Right.
Like, what are these doing? What are these dudes doing when they're not force ghosting people? Like,
just hanging
the
out.
fuck, they're just
They're playing
just
dice,
hanging
bro.
out.
They're rolling fucking dice in a goddamn alley.
It would have been nice to get like a Anakin Force Ghost or something like.
Wasn't
something
there
cool.
one in the prequels? There's an Anakin
what?
Force Ghost somewhere.
In the original trilogy, I think one of
Yeah,
the
the original
remasters.
trilogy at the
Remastered,
very end, they threw Hayden in.
And he's like this.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to American Eagle. It's me, Hayden Christensen.
There's sand here. I
Ugh.
hate sand.
Like, but
Oh,
like
boy.
you know,
I'm
by
really
far the best thing to happen to Star Wars. You know, I mean, Baby Yoda far outshadowed Rise of Skywalker. You know, I mean, like he's taken the Star Wars universe by storm.
bro.
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
Yoda sucks.
Damn.
I'm gonna say it, bro.
Alan watches this and
He
hates
loved
everything.
Baby
I love
Yoda.
it.
Bro, let's just be honest with y'all. Baby Yoda sucks. I would have took that coin and bounced the fuck out.
There was a deleted scene from episode 3 where Qui-Gon Jinn appears to Obi-Wan. Oh shit. I gotta check that out. As like a full like Force Ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Were we
Yeah, I
talking
remember
about
that.
that? The Mandalorian ship showed up in
No,
the
we
Rise
All
of
the
Skywalker?
shots that showed up to help.
I don't remember that, bro. I think you're lying. Prove it. Show me a picture.
We're gonna have to just watch the movie right now.
Wait, the Mandalorian ship showed up where?
And
During
the
the
fight at the
battle,
very end where all those ships start showing up.
Really?
the final endgame battle.
Was Baby Yoda there? I don't think so.
He's still
That's
a child.
that's
by
one
then.
question we definitely.
That's. I mean,
need
how
answered.
old is the child during?
He was 50, I
'cause
heard.
This is. Yeah, he's 50 then, so now he's what? 80
I mean-
or how many? Well, that was.
He's
right
not even a
after that,
teenager
the
yet,
30s.
technically.
That's
Well,
what I mean. He's not even a teenager.
how far is
So-
the newer movies from The Mandalorian? How far is that gap in years?
Well, we don't know how many years after Return of the Jedi this is. Like he could, Luke could be 5 years old at this point. He could be 10 years. We know there's probably, between the Last Jedi and this, there's probably at least 30 years gone by.
Hold on.
So,
Bro, Leia doesn't really look that old though.
well, look at Luke, motherfucker.
Well, because you got to think The Mandalorian is what 6 years after the Return of the Jedi.
Is that what it is? 6 years?
I think it's like 5 or 6 years after Return of the Jedi. So you guys say Leia's probably like what 20 in the movies in the first 3.
Yeah.
By Return of Jedi, like 20 something, early 20s.
Yeah, so 6.
So
I'm
6
still
years.
thinking 30 years has passed. Yeah.
Well, here's according to Collider.
I can't see that shit. It's way too small on my screen.
Oh, let me see if I can zoom in. There it is.
Does it say the amount of years though?
It doesn't say the amount of years, but this is according to Disney. So if Return of the Jedi, Mandalorian, then a little skip ahead becomes The Force Awakens, then Star Wars Resistance.
It might be more than 30 because if she was 20 then, she looks older than 50.
Yeah, she looks old as fuck.
I mean, and Luke, he looks like he's goddamn 70.
Yeah, I would say about 100 too. I mean, if Han's still around, Mandalorian's still definitely around.
But is he still doing the Force though?
Who?
Baby Yoda. You think
I'm sure.
you think at
Oh,
100
fuck
he's
yeah.
still using the Force? Because
What if
Well,
he
we got to
was
see
at
what's going to happen with the end of the Mandalorian show. He might be dead. Yeah,
maybe
I don't know.
maybe Kylo killed him when he killed everyone at the Jedi Temple.
I'm thinking he's the next Sith Lord.
bro, I hope so. He choked that bitch with their arm.
I don't know. He's choking bitches. He's definitely, you're not supposed to have jealousy, right? Like all that stuff. He's pretty much showed
What's up,
all
Rob?
the signs of that so far.
What up, Rob?
Remy said 42 years. So yeah, he's what about 100?
Bro,
Yeah,
how the
about 100.
fuck? How old is Leia then, bro? She like 70 years old.
Yeah, probably. Bitch looked old.
I'm inked_Jedi.
I mean, I don't know. But he's shown all the signs of Sith so far. I mean, force choking people. Force choke is usually a sign attributed to
Definitely
Sith.
a Sith move.
Yeah,
Well, what about old fucking-
jealousy, rage. All that shit.
What about fucking Rey using the Force lightning to fucking bring that ship down?
Yeah,
That
was the
effect
moment
looked
when I
weird,
knew,
man.
Like there's
I thought that looked kind of weird. just effect like CG wise, it looked weird to me.
Even that fucking the CG of her as like a Sith when she was fighting herself, that shit was fucking super weird looking too. Like that shit was not done really well.
Yeah. There was a lot of CG in these movies that wasn't done well.
Yeah, it was weird. Like that liney thing, I'm like, wow, this is like fucking some shit you see on sci-fi. Fucking Sharknado.
But my thing is, like I said,
Playing
love or hate the movies, I can say that. At the end of the day, I still love that we have these movies because they're Star Wars movies, and I'd rather have, mediocre Star Wars movies than no Star Wars movies. My kid loves them. Like he's totally gotten into Star Wars from these movies. Like he first became obsessed with BB-8 and R2, and now he's obsessed with Dio and all that. So,
but is it like the Dio that we actually know and love? No.
No, it's not that Dio.
It's not.
But so at the end of the day, I'll fucking take anything Star Wars live action animated. I'll take any of it.
They just add a bunch of pointless shit to these fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
Dio, fucking pointless. That little fucking guy who made fucking C-3PO. The whole fucking thing of C-3PO was completely fucking pointless, bro. It was the most pointless ass shit.
That was the most emotional part of the movie for me. I was
man. I thought they were about to take C-3PO
I'm about to say goodbye to all my friends. Man, shut the fuck up and tell us what we need so we can get on with this shit, bro.
Alan is
playing games.
He's fucking
surprising
heartless,
me.
man.
Bro, playing
heartless.
Fuck about no robot. I ain't ever gonna be.
I teared up at that
robot,
part. I was
bro.
like, oh shit.
I don't trust robots, dog.
My man sounded like Mando right now. Fuck them droids.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Roomba right now, bro. Shit's looking at me kind of weird.
Okay. Hold on, I got the pick.
What's the pick?
It's of the Mandalorian ship.
It's Antonio's butthole. What's up, Antonio? You throwing your butthole up on this chat shit?
Let's see. I'm gonna share it. Boop. Boop. All right. He's saying that's it right here.
Bro, come the fuck on.
What? Come on. I need to zoom on that.
Bro, come the fuck on.
Right here.
Bro, all those ships look exactly the same. How are you going to say that's the ship?
That's it. Look, if you look in here, you can see Baby Yoda driving.
He's right here. He's like on the fucking the wing of the ship. Like, what's up, y'all?
Oh shit.
Yeah, Rob, please show us your lightsaber.
No, Rob. Tired of seeing your dick, bro. Quit bringing that shit up, making me feel uncomfortable.
Never get enough of it.
No, Baba Frick sucked, bro. That shit
Baba Frick was pretty awesome.
No, he sucked, bro. Man, come on.
Dude, that dude was cracking me up because he reminded me of like my little old grandpa. Same face and
Baba
everything.
Frick was sweet.
I like
What about Poe throwing fucking glances at old chick and she's just like, nah.
It's like, nah.
Wasn't
meant for him, I guess.
Well, whenever they first met, like whenever they show them meeting, you think like they have like a history and shit, and then she's trying to like, here's this little coin, bro, use this, get off of here, like they're fucking like they have some kind of relationship, and then they don't save the universe, and then he's trying to fuck, and she's like, nope, get out of here, Poe, go hang out with Finn, y'all together now.
Oh shit! But I really did think that Finn and Rey were going to end up together at the end. Did y'all think that?
No.
I think
you never thought that.
I think during like the Force Awakens, I did, and then after I'm just like, he probably should have shot his shot by now if he was going to do it. Do it now.
Well, that's why I thought it was setting that up when he started, telling her like, I got to tell you something, as soon as they were like going in the quicksand, and he's like, I got to tell you something. I was like, okay, here they're about to have the moment where he tells her he loves her, and
I mean, and so I would say yes, but then they threw like Rose in the middle, and then I'm like, oh, so he's gonna, like this chick, and then
the
third movie, he did it. He started hanging out with Lando's daughter. I don't care what everybody says, that's Lando's daughter. My man spread his seed through the galaxy, son.
Bro, there's only like 4 people in the whole fucking universe that are black. Lando's also Finn's dad.
I'm like, that's...
yeah.
Every black person in the Star Wars universe is somehow
just
related
Lando's
to
kid.
Lando. Yeah, Lando's fucking, bro.
He's just slinging D everywhere and drinking Colt 40s.
Yeah. He's fucking dicking bitches down. Like, he does not give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, Lando was throwing dick in the galaxy far, far away.
I'm also very upset about the Knights of Ren, bro. Those guys look so kick ass. And then nothing. I mean, I get it. Like, it would have been too much of a fucking anything to go into like a backstory of them but I was also watching something today about the dark saber, the black saber, or whatever the fuck saber,
dark saber,
saber.
And like it like belonged to the House of Ren.
Oh, hold on, I got it here. Let me pull it up.
Or was once belonged to the House of Ren. And I started thinking, like, is that in any way correlation, like, related to the Knights of Ren? Like,
hold on, because they actually breaking down Disney Rebels.
You wanted to speak with me?
I remember like, it's been a while since I watched Rebels, but I remember they talked about the dark saber. But
what's this about?
Hold on.
A lightsaber?
Not just any lightsaber.
It can't be.
So you recognize it?
That I do. It is the dark saber, a symbol for the leader of House Vizsla, and later the group known as Death Watch.
I didn't know Mandalorians developed a type of lightsaber.
We didn't. This was one of a kind. Legend tells that it was created over 1,000 years ago by Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian ever inducted into
That's what I was thinking. It was Mandalorian.
Jedi kept the saber in their
Isn't Vizsla in Mandalorian too?
House Vizsla snuck in and liberated it. They used the saber to unify the people and strike down those who would oppose them.
I think
In time, they ruled all of Mandalore wielding this blade. This saber is an important symbol to that house and respected by the other clans. I imagine Sabine was excited to recover it.
You wouldn't know it. After we got back from Dathomir, she gave it to me for safekeeping and hasn't brought it up since.
She doesn't want the responsibility.
She's like, fuck that.
Kanan, if Sabine can wield this saber,
Yeah, that was my thought, that it was an ancient Mandalorian
in all of
weapon.
Mandalore.
You're talking about raising
Like
it.
their version of a lightsaber.
Sabine leading it.
Yeah, I stole that from the Disney YouTube channel.
Shout out to Disney.
Shout out
a
to
good pull.
Disney.
Sponsored by Disney Plus. Holla at us.
So you owe me $1,000, Disney.
Yeah. No, there. At the end of well, like the last part of whenever like the last time you see that saber, what's her name? Is it Saban or whatever the fuck her name is? What is her name? You just said her name.
Sabine?
Sabine. Yeah, she has it at the very end of like the last time you see it, and then you don't see it again until fucking Homeboy has that shit and Mandalorian. So there's like a huge gap of time between that when it went from her to Homeboy having it.
Death Watch are the ones who saved Mando.
Yeah.
All of House Vizsla did. Oh, all right. Answer that question. They did.
They did.
Yeah, wasn't the guy who created that fucking saber? Wasn't he like a Mandalorian Jedi? Because after he died,
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He was like the first Mandalorian Jedi.
well, after he dies, the Jedi Council keeps the fucking saber for a while, and then somebody steals it back.
It was stolen during some war.
Yeah, somebody steals it back, and then Darth Maul has it for a while. He had it for a while in Clone Wars, didn't he?
Now, who did Sabine give it to after she used it? Because she gave it to one of the Mandalorians, like because she didn't keep it, right?
Well, she gave it. Her sister had it for a while, and then her sister.
She had it like she went through that whole thing with Kanan when he trained her, and she used it. But then, like at the end, she gave it to somebody. I can't remember who she gave it to.
Remy's gonna know.
She gives it back. She gives it back to Sabine. Sabine has it at the very end of.
No, I don't think Sabine has it.
She has it at the very end.
Rebels.
The last time you see it, she has it, and then You don't
Really?
see it again
I
until.
could have sworn that she didn't have it at the end of Rebels.
Bro, I'm telling you, she has that shit.
Well, didn't they first take it? Someone steal it from the Jedi Temple, like it was in the Jedi Temple. Yeah, he was.
Man, we need to get Remy in here, bro. Audio that shit, Remy. Who cares about gender reveal? About
You know who doesn't care about gender reveals? Wookiees.
Wookiees do not care.
Wookiees don't give a shit.
They don't like medals. They don't like.
Wookiees are gender neutral.
They don't like gender reveals. They have no friends. All
They
their friends
like-
get killed.
They love lightsabers. Yeah, how man? They fucking did him wrong.
Who's that?
Who?
Chewbacca.
Bro,
Oh,
they
yeah.
shit on
That's
that
what
dude.
I
The whole
said.
series, the whole.
Bro, he looks young as fuck too in the new movies. Like he looked kind of old.
Well, Wookiees live to what, like 800 years old? No,
Yeah.
500 years old. I think he's only like 300 years old.
You know what they
Well,
say?
it was the original actor playing him in the first movie, and
Wookiees
he
don't.
only played like certain scenes, and then they brought that younger dude in there to replace him.
Remy coming through. Hold on. Sabine gave it to the Duchess of Mando, or sister, because she had most of the clan's ears, and they respected her, so Sabine gave it to her.
See, I didn't think Sabine had it at the end.
But
So
isn't the Duchess her sister though? Remy? Bro, I'm about to look this shit up.
Man,
I don't,
we're
I
gonna
don't
have to
believe
just-
anything. I don't believe anything Remy says. He said Wookiees don't like fucking medals.
I just want Remy to keep writing comments. and we'll
Wookiees
just do
don't
the
like
show that
medals.
way.
Chewbacca was pretty fucking stoked.
Yeah, he was pumped on that shit. He's
He
like,
was pumped when they gave it. He's like, "Ugh."
somebody finally appreciates me, bro.
Some respect.
Yeah.
He like jerked off on it later. He
Harry
felt
Wookie
really
cock.
bad afterwards.
Man, we should just do. We should just watch Rebels and then do like recaps,
Recaps of
so we
Rebels,
can get the
yeah.
shit correct. Yeah,
Yeah, we're fucking
Rebels
horrible at
was
this
so Rebels was so good.
it is.
It's been,
Let's
you know,
talk about how great the Mandalorian.
I keep saying how great it is, and then I forget stuff. But it's been like, fucking how long since it's been out, and I haven't watched it since then.
Yeah, I
But-
gotta get to it too. But yeah, let's talk Mandalorian, man.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
How
is
hot
amazing.
fire was that show?
Bro, that show
Dude.
sucked. Mando,
Oh boy,
not like Mando, bro. You gotta think about it, bro. He could have. So he takes his mask off for a robot, but he had like some fine
he's
ass
not-
bitch. Well, he had some fine ass bitch like in a village talking about take your mask off, and he's like, "No, I gotta." See, that's what I was telling you the other day. Why don't have kids? Because you could be settling down with some fine bitch in a village, but no, you gotta take care of some little ass baby, and you gotta leave a mask on and be all sweaty all the time. You could have fucking some pussy. You can't have pussy and a baby at the same time. So once you have a baby, pussy is gone from your life, bro.
but that's some bullshit. Because Jango Fett took off his mask all the time.
He wasn't a real
It's humble.
Mandalorian though.
He wasn't. Was he?
Neither
Yeah, I
is
was gonna say, was he?
Mando. He's
Bro.
something else.
He got in. He got.
Well, Mandalorian isn't a race; it's a way.
Eh,
I
From what
It
it
was a
says,
race. I think someone.
I
said-
Well, it
have-
was a race.
I-
It was a race. They were Mandalorian. That's where I was a little bit confused in
Same.
the show because he did say it's not a race. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure that's a race.
It is a race.
You know?
Favreau's like,
So
no,
I
you're
was
kind of that
confused.
shit.
Yeah, I was a little confused with that part when he said that. And I'm like,
Yeah, me too. I'm like, wait a minute. I've been lied to
Yeah.
this whole time.
Yeah. But I think after the race was wiped out, that's when they started to consider it a way of life instead of a race because their race was wiped out. So the remaining Mandalorians probably just tried to pick up the pieces and pick up orphans and kids and raise them in the Mandalorian way, and that's when it became like a way of life instead of a race.
I get it.
Kinda deal.
It's like whenever I got thrown out of the Crips because I was like too Crip, and then so I found like other Crips, and I was like, man, Crips not a race. It's a way of life. And then somebody started making us metal things, and it's like, I was like, man, I don't want that shit. Now I gotta take care of a baby now.
Who did Maul take the dark saber from? Because Maul had it, right?
Yeah, he had it for a while.
And that's what I was asking because the last time we saw it was Sabine giving it to the Duchess. He just said so. What
Did he take
happened
it
to
from
it
the
between the
Duchess?
Duchess and that's what I mean. Did he take it from the Duchess? Or
Maul
where-
got new legs and stole it.
He got them spider legs.
Spider legs.
I'll be back. I gotta piss.
You got them spider legs.
Take us with you.
All right, now that Roy's gone, we can talk about some real shit.
The Duchess took it from Maul? Oh, he took it from the Duchess. Makes sense. There you go.
Bro, even whenever fucking what? And use it to kill her?
Pre Vizsla. Ah, gotcha. This lore is so deep.
Bro, what the fuck is Jimmy talking about? Because didn't he just say the Duchess had the lightsaber?
And then Maul took it from the Duchess.
And then he used it to kill her? So she's dead and she has the lightsaber?
She used to have it.
Bro.
And Maul showed up, was like, I'm taking it.
Yeah, but then he says that he used it to kill her.
Oh, Pre Vizsla had it. That's what Justin was saying.
I don't know what any of y'all are talking about.
So Pre Vizsla is like the great grandchild of.
We just gotta rewatch. We're talking about nothing. We gotta rewatch fucking Rebels because this.
Yeah, dude. Especially now that this is like, oh, we're just gonna put everything's gonna be canon now. We're gonna just put it all together, and you guys gotta watch everything to figure it out.
We gotta rewatch Rebels and do a fucking Rebels thing so we can talk about the goddamn fucking saber.
I think we talk about each. So let's go like through season 1, and then we'll do season 2, and just talk about it like that, and then that way we get our shit together and know what we're talking about.
We have no idea what
Bro, so Mandalorian.
We told, yeah.
It was good, bro. Every single episode was fucking fire.
It was way better than the Star Wars Christmas special.
I think it was literally the best thing that Star Wars has done. Every single movie that's ever been put out, better than all of it.
By far it was. For me, by far it was. And that's to say it because Dave Filoni, you know. You put Dave Filoni in live action, he's going to kill it.
You put Filoni
dude knows Star Wars.
You put Filoni anywhere, and I'm going to have good
Filoni.
No, you put Filoni anywhere, and I'm going
to when I first started watching it, I had like a real Western feel to it.
Yeah.
And I used to love watching Western films. And I'm like, man, this is what a bounty hunter show should be like, right? Like, you have a task, kind of like the A-Team. You got a task, you do that task, and then something happens during that task, and now you come to some kind of resolution, and that's it.
It's almost got that Western music too, you know that.
Well, it's the same guy who did the Black Panther score.
Yeah.
Did the score for Mandalorian.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a spaghetti western kind of thing. That's what
episode 6 is by far my favorite. The prisoner episode.
Dude, that one was really good.
This shit was so good. Like, you know,
gosh, when they dropped Baby Yoda, I was like, yo, that's fucked.
Yeah.
They could have dropped the real baby. I would have been like, oh. But they dropped Baby Yoda. I was like, yo.
And you throw Bill Burr in there. I mean, dude.
I don't like Bill Burr, bro.
What, dude? That dude is hilarious.
I think Alan has said I don't like 90% of this whole shit.
Dude, Bill Burr's little fucking arm thing that came out of his back.
That was pretty cool.
That shit was tight, bro.
I don't like Baby Yoda. He's probably the only person on the planet that has said I don't like Baby Yoda.
It isn't that I don't like Baby Yoda. It's just, you know, you have a job, you do your job. You don't let babies get involved in this shit. Like, I can't fucking talk. I can't breathe out of my nose. But no, I'm doing my job. I ain't fucking no.
Take care of no baby.
Take care of no baby, bro. Kill that baby. I don't care. Use him, clone him, do whatever the fuck you're gonna do to him.
Someone should do like a Adventures in Babysitting with fucking Mando, Baby Yoda.
I'm just trying to get
that would be hilarious. Dude, that shit was fucking hilarious. On was that the last episode 8 with the stormtroopers, Jason Sudeikis?
Yes.
Dude, that shit was so fucking
really
hilarious.
Like that.
When they're like shooting at the can or whatever it was, and they're like not hitting it, you know, like I was cracking up.
Well, just that little like banter between them was fucking real good. Like, that had a lot of. I mean, like in the original movies, there's that like kind of like almost like real kind of like dialogue and shit like that. Yeah. And everything else, like after that, all the dialogue's kind of like,
yeah. No. No, that
Right.
shit's good. Like, they've done some of the CGI in that looks better than the actual like high production movies they've
That
done.
look tight.
You know,
It looked really
It
way
is.
better than that Force Lightning shit. That
Yeah,
was not
that's
good.
what I mean. Like it was bad, and like everything they've done in this is like
How do you
like,
how you say his name? Moff Gideon?
Moff Gideon.
Gideon?
Get her on.
Yeah, that dude was like an Imperial spy too. He was like the elite of the elite soldiers. For I think he served right under like Palpatine.
Is that the
He's a
same
bad
dude?
dude.
Is it the same dude that was in fucking Breaking Bad?
Yeah, that's Gus.
Yeah. I don't like that guy either. Hey, was the girl who played the shock trooper? Was that the girl who played fucking?
Bill Burr, the Boston talking bounty hunter. Yeah, that
What
dude.
you talking about?
Hey, so I was doing the Mandalorian. Oh god,
the girl who played the shock trooper, was it the same chick from the first Deadpool movie? Who played that like
Vanessa or
no, not the other girl who's like
Gina Caruso?
Is it the same girl?
Yeah, it's the same. I think it's the same girl. Yeah,
She's
she was
dope,
pretty
bro.
good too. I don't like her.
I don't like her, but she's like a big bitch, bro.
Yeah, she's a tough girl.
She's a stocky ass chick.
Dude,
Yeah.
I want to see her as Big Barda.
You know what? My wife just said that shit today to me.
She'd be a
Really?
good Big Barda, bro.
Yeah, she was like, she'll be great for Big Barda. And I'm
She's
like,
kinda-
Dude, her and did you see Mitch Garrett's
yeah,
person, Adam Scott?
that's what
Like,
I showed her, and she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, Big Barda's 7 feet tall. Like she's a really tall woman, but also
Yeah.
Adam Scott's really small, so they can get away with it.
That's what I mean. You can get away with it with a little dude. Like, 'cause, you know, I can see it. That's what I was thinking. Like Adam Scott, I was immediately like, yes. But then the bodybuilder chick, I'm like, I don't see that. But then I
She
immediately
pro-
thought of the Mandalorian chick, and I was like,
But did
I
you
can see
read her
those two.
tweet? Did you read the
what
tweet?
she's?
It was terrible. Like the grammar was terrible. So I'm like, yeah, you can't write, you can't talk, bro. That's my.
Yeah,
you,
probably not. Yeah,
You can't put together a proper sentence.
yeah.
Not
That's
a
why I
run-on
immediately
sentence
thought
like Greg does.
That chick and Adam Scott would be amazing.
Yeah, she was an MMA fighter. I think she lost to like Ronda Rousey like 3 times.
Ronda Rousey sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, is she even around anymore? Like, what's
Didn't
she
you-
doing?
man, she
what
lives on a farm with a woman beating husband.
Didn't she go to WWE or whatever the fuck?
She was there for a little bit.
Yeah, I thought
then-
she was doing that. She's not doing it anymore.
Nah, man. She's just off on her little farm.
Did y'all cry at the very end whenever fucking fucking droid sacrificed himself?
Nah, bro.
Oh yeah,
Y'all
that dude.
sensitive, bro.
No.
Y'all
Respect
really.
I only
it.
cry. I only cry when 3PO sacrifices himself.
I only
That's
cried when
the only droid I cry at.
Chewie got a medal.
You told me you didn't cry when IG-11's like, "Humble or die, it's the only way I gotta do it." These it's the fucking Terminator shit.
Bro,
Like,
how funny was like initiating self-destruct sequence that first dude, I was cracking up. He was like, no. I was like, perfect, man. That show was just way too good.
No,
Way,
it
way
is,
too
man.
good.
It sucks. We're gonna probably have to wait. I would think at least a minimum of a year for the next season.
It's crazy
maybe
because
longer.
Pedro Pascal wasn't in the suit much. He just did like voiceovers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, like when they revealed, I'd heard that was him as the Mandalorian, but I'd only seen like tidbits. And then when it actually showed him, I'm like, oh shit, it is that dude. I'm like,
Right.
but that dude's like too big to be like in that suit all the time. Like,
Well,
there's no way that guy's.
It might be Moon Knight, so I mean, at least he'll.
Ooh.
he
bigger
looks a
role.
lot different. I totally forgot that was fucking homeboy from Game of Thrones, the
Mhm.
fucking Viper dude who gets his fucking face crushed by the.
Face smashed in. Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently, like he wasn't in his suit a lot. He just did voiceovers
Yeah.
until I guess that last scene where he pop off the helmet or
Yeah.
whatever. So
He should have left that helmet on. He motherfucking looked jacked up.
Oh shit.
I should have removed that helmet and like Brad Pitt was like, "What's up, y'all?"
Like, what's the dude's name? What's the one guy's name in it that was from the Predator?
Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers. Yeah. Like, has he been in anything since then? Like, what has he been in until this show? I'm like,
Apollo
Nothing,
Creed,
man.
right,
baby.
dude, this scene
Someone
for
definitely
fucking
threw him a
ever.
bone.
Yeah, Apollo Creed.
It's
Yeah, I
Apollo
haven't
Creed,
seen-
baby. You don't have to be in any other movie. He could have died right after that, and that would have been it. His
I'm
legacy.
like, we ain't seen this dude in fucking years. Like,
Yeah, he was also in Predator.
Let's see.
yeah,
You
that's what I'm
son
saying.
of
Like,
a
that's what I know
bitch.
him. Yeah, that's what I know him from more. Is I said the Predator, you know, like, then I'm like, oh yeah, he was Apollo Creed. Yeah,
Then he got killed.
fuck those movies.
He got killed by Ivan Drago.
But yeah, we haven't seen him like in forever. But I like him in the show. He's good.
Bro, he was in Happy Gilmore. What the fuck are you talking about?
He wasn't Happy
He
Gilmore.
was in Happy Gilmore. Yeah, yeah.
He was in Toy Story 4.
I didn't see. I didn't
Toy
see
Story
Creed
4.
2. Was
Yeah, he was in Little Nicky.
Was
Adam
he?
Sandler
Did he
keeps
come back
throwing him
as a
bones.
Force ghost in Creed 2? I didn't watch it, but that would have been cool if he showed up in Creed 2 as a Force ghost.
That would be amazing.
You're my son. You can do it. It's like him and Rocky. And
Rock is like, yeah, you see this? You see
Yeah.
this? One too many shots.
It's like the director's cut. Rocky dies of cancer in the very first one.
Yeah.
Then comes back as a Force ghost, and him and Carl are like at the very end,
Yeah.
like all fucking hugged up, and he's like, well, "My name's Adonis," and he's like,
Mick shows up, starts yelling at people.
"Yeah, Adonis Creed."
Gosh, I didn't even watch.
What's your boxing name? And he's like, "Oh, hold on, I don't know. My first name is Adonis."
Shut up.
And then the fucking Force ghosts, fucking Apollo Creed.
Damn, Force Ghost Greed, man. They should have done it. They should have just fucking done it, man. Like when they brought back Rocky's trainer after Clubber Lang killed him. And then you saw him in those flashbacks. Get up, you bum. They should have done that. They should have done that with Apollo Creed.
So where do y'all put this? Where do you rank the movies now? Like, do you put, Rise of Skywalker? Is it like up there with anywhere near the original trilogy? Like, do all three of these, the new trilogies, surpass the episode 1, 2, and 3? Like,
I mean, for me, the nostalgia of the original and
yeah,
just
for me, that's
how simple those movies were. Just not even like graphically, they were just so simple and so well done. Empire Strikes Back is always going to be my favorite Star Wars movie, hands down.
yeah,
Love that movie.
definitely.
As far as everything else, that could be second. I did like Rogue One. I won't even lie. I enjoyed
Rogue One. Yeah, I would
thought
put
it did a
Rogue
good stuff.
One as I would put the originals first. That's like my list is the originals first, then Rogue One. Like,
I even
that's
like
right underneath those.
the fucking Han Solo movie was pretty good too. People,
I hated that movie. I
Man,
hated
fuck
that.
you. I love that movie.
I hate that movie. I don't know.
Why-
I can't see another Han. It's hard for me to have somebody else playing Han Solo. I don't know.
Well,
The best part of that movie was when Maul showed up at the end.
Yeah, I wish they would have had more Maul.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I thought they were going somewhere with that, but then they didn't. So
Yeah.
Nope, and we'll never see anything else about it, and it was a complete fucking waste of time.
Yeah. So for me, like it's the original trilogy, then Rogue One, then I would probably say The Force Awakens after that, Rise of Skywalker after that. It's 1 through 3, and then 7 through 9, and then
everything
all
else.
the other ones after that. Yeah, everything else after that.
I could agree with you on that, man.
The prequels are fucking horrible.
Yeah, the prequels.
There
are
was
terrible.
if you take out certain things from those prequel films, they would be great.
Yeah.
Well,
Namely, Christian Haydenson or whatever.
Christian Hayes was the biggest problem I had with those movies.
Same
yeah.
here. Everybody else was so fucking cool, right? Like
Well,
Obi-Wan was cool, Qui-Gon was cool.
yeah.
Samuel Jackson was cool.
Yeah. So,
Natalie
and like I
Portman
said, I'm
was
not
fine.
like saying that. I'm not saying I put 7 through 9 out there to bash the prequels, because at the end of the day, I still enjoy the prequels, and I probably watch them all at least once a year
Hey,
at some point.
it's,
But
who said that? The Ray Parks thing. from Instagram is not for Disney Plus though.
What's it gonna be?
It's from like a someone. I was looking at it and someone said that it was from like a. I'm looking up right now. So I was looking at it the other day. You posted it in the social media chat.
Yeah, and then I know I didn't know 3 Men in the Basement. They did talk about it as well. That it was coming to Disney Plus, and then I heard it from somewhere else too, where it just started spreading like wildfire. I don't know if Ray Park is gonna come back to play Darth Maul. I hope he does.
And that's the thing. Like the prequels brought us Darth Maul, which is an amazing character. Like there's so much good.
Dude, there was some
that came
great
out of
characters.
Those,
Even Padme was a good character, man.
Padme was a good character. Yeah.
I mean, you had
It's just,
Grievous, Dooku.
Grievous,
Maul.
Dooku. I mean, those are great.
That picture of Maul is from whenever they were making the Solo movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. But you never know. Like I said, he may be. Oh, my camera's doing something weird. That's new.
And we lost one. Now it's just down to 2. Went from 4.
Which Grievous. That whole was that the 3rd movie with the abduction of Palpatine when they come on Grievous's ship to save him. That was the 3rd movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Juan is turned into.
Yeah, that was the 3rd one. That scene right there is still like that. Actually, if I was to judge by scenes of the movies, like that would be high up there. Like that whole, scene with them fighting Grievous on the ship when they're trying to rescue Palpatine, and the fight between Obi-Wan and and Palpatine saying "do it," like slicing off his head, like all that shit was amazing. So as a scene, that was pretty awesome with Dooku. I was just trying to think of his name, Dooku. Count Dooku when they were saving Palpatine and they're fighting Count Dooku, and it's like their retribution from the earlier movie where he cut off Anakin's arm. Now they have the retribution fight scene, and Palpatine's telling him to kill him. Like that whole scene,
do it,
and that whole Grievous, Grievous looked amazing. Like I think it still holds up pretty good today. And how many years ago was that shot? At least 20 years ago?
The was fucking good in those movies. Just fucking Hayden Christensen crying all the time was goddamn horrible.
Yeah.
It was bad. It really took away from what the movie should have been. Even that fight scene with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and then and Maul was fantastic.
That was amazing. You probably got some of the better fight scenes of all the movies in those, prequels.
Phantom Menace came out in 1999.
99.
Yep.
Fucking what?
Well, what year was Phantom Menace?
Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones was 2002, and Revenge of the Sith was 2005.
So 2005. Yeah, so 15.
I mean,
years
even
ago.
at the time, that final battle on Mustafar with Obi-Wan and Anakin, they said it was at the time it was the longest fight scene in any movie. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that still holds up. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, those probably gave us the best lightsaber battles of any of the movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's something I wanted more in this Star Wars movie. Like, I wanted more of these cool ass battle fights,
People flipping around.
I know that was my biggest peeve with a lot of movies. I just want to see fucking lightsaber battles, man. At the end of the day, give me some fucking lightsaber battles. That's all I want to see.
I just want to see people get force choke and people get doing flips with a lightsaber.
Yeah, that's all. Like Force Awakens was great, but I still felt like I didn't get enough lightsaber.
Bro, I don't care. The whole fucking stormtrooper with that fucking little baton thing was like,
yeah.
The tightest shit in the whole fucking world. They could just end in the movie right there, and I'd be just fucking happy with that shit.
He does the spin.
Bro, that shit was so fucking cool. We're going back. I want to go back to fucking whenever Kylo fucking chokes that dude when they're like at that little fucking table and that dude's like talking and he fucking chokes him up onto the fucking roof. That shit was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Force chokes are cool in just in general. Like
Yeah.
that dude was talking shit to Vader. He's like,
Yeah.
Vader, how dare you? He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, like with his good hand.
What about that fucking
Yeah.
that part with the spy dude? He's like, "It's me." Like, bro, I knew he was up to some shit the whole fucking time. He was up to
I
some,
didn't care when he got killed. I was like, good. He's an asshole anyway.
He sucked anyway. Like there was just, you can kind of tell that he didn't like Kylo Ren, so he was kind of like trying to fuck up his shit.
Yeah.
Like Kylo Ren's just trying to fuck, bro. He wants to be the fucking ruler. He wants to hang out with his sister and shit, kiss her and save her, and you fucking up his shit, bro.
Well,
Yeah.
Cock block.
Man, so where does the Mandalorian go from here?
I mean,
I don't know, man. Like,
he's gonna have to fight Homeboy again.
yeah, I mean, obviously Moff Gideon is going to be a big part of the next season. He's going to be the main antagonist going into the next season. So
J.J. Abrams takes over the next season, and
he's like, I'm taking over.
they just do something completely different.
JJ's like, you need more force chokes in there.
Yeah, Baby Yoda's all grown up, and he's just choking people.
Well, if you think about it, Baby Yoda's still a baby, so he has the temperament
And that's what I mean,
of
like,
a baby. So it makes sense he'd like.
What is that movie with Sylvester Stallone where it's like an arm wrestling movie?
Over the top.
Over the top. So we fast forward. J.J. Abrams in control now. Fucking Baby Yoda's at a fucking arm wrestling competition, just choking people.
And winning.
That's Mandalorian season 2.
I love it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how many years are they going to start jumping the Mandalorian? Because are you going to keep having Baby Yoda like every season? At some point, like, don't you want to like see where this fucking kid goes? Like,
right.
Yeah, but you would to do that. You would have to jump like many years into the future. Like, what's their plan for the child? That I think this whole show is ultimately it's called The Mandalorian, but obviously they've shown a lot of it revolves around the child, and he's the plot of the story. So that's where I'm interested to see where they're going to take the show. Is like, what's his ultimate story? Where are they taking him?
You know how it is, Roy. Whenever you have a kid, and people are like, "Oh yeah, there's Roy," and then like, "Yeah, Roy got kids." That's your story, bro. Your story is not you anymore. It's you and the fucking kid.
Exactly. Yeah.
He could have had.
Nobody cares about me anymore. They just
it's like, oh, there's fucking Roy, cute ass kid. Fuck Roy. Who cares what Roy? Who cares what Roy had fucking dreams to do? That shit's over now. It's all about his goddamn baby.
Yeah, I know.
The Mandalorian. It's like a fucking. It's like, what is that? Like that parenting book that you read, like how to be a parent or some shit.
How to be a parent.
Yeah, that book. About parenting, how to be a parent.
I can't see you anymore, Juan.
Yeah, your video went out.
It's all right. I'm fixing it. That's my fault. I forgot to plug in the external power, so it just shut off. It'll be on shortly.
What is Nemesis talking about? The 3-man.
Three Men in the Basement is a podcast that he does with Otto and some of the Lords, and they were the first ones to mention that Darth Maul would be getting his own show on Disney Plus.
I definitely think he would. I don't think Ray Park's going to come back and play Maul though. I mean,
I think it'll be more of a CGI based show, like a Rebel. I mean, I can't see them doing a live action. I don't know, maybe because he's going to have the metal legs, right? I mean,
right?
You gonna do that live action?
Exactly.
Fuck yeah! Juan's wife's about to get a metal leg. One metal leg.
My wife's metal leg.
She hurt her leg at work. She's about to get one metal leg. And she's going to be in fucking that shit too.
There we are. There you go. I plugged it in, so we're good now.
Yeah, I can't see you doing a Darth Maul show without it being CGI.
Shout out to Jen and her metal leg. What's up, Jen?
Oh, Justin, you want to join Justin? Justin's a buddy of mine. Let me send Some of my guy had link.
It doesn't. Bro, this kid has a fucking Fantastic Four #6 that he was trying to sell me for $100 the other day.
What?
But it's detached, and there's like a piece cut out of the cover, and I'm very tempted to buy it, but I don't want to buy it.
You should.
Yeah.
No.
Tell him you'll give him.
Tell me to give him a hand job.
It doesn't look bad. Like it presents kind of well, but that fucking chunk cut out of the front of the cover is very disappointing.
Yeah, I can't. For me, like I don't. If I'm gonna get a book like that, the cover is the most important. If I'm not getting it slabbed, if it's like a bad grade, like a raw book that I'm not planning on getting slabbed, I'm only wanting it to like put in one of the cheap cases to display. So the cover is everything. Like I don't want.
I mean, if
a book that I can't display the cover.
If it wasn't detached, and the whole, like maybe if it was like one staple detached, maybe with no hole cut in the cover, but I can't just. I already own way too many comics that I'm afraid to take out a bag and board.
Gotcha.
So
I'd rather be missing like 2-3 pages inside than the cover be fucked up.
Yeah, because at least no one would know unless you get a slab.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just gonna put it in a frame on the wall. Be like, oh, I got a fucking Fantastic Four #6 fully complete, baby.
Yeah, bitch.
So are they gonna take it out of my frame?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can post it every week on Instagram.
Yeah, dude.
New pickup of the week every week.
Yeah,
it'll be the same. That's it, bro. Fuck it.
Is your homie joining or what?
Yeah, just send him a link. Yeah, dude. I see that Reese has a Fantastic Four #5. Man, I was talking to Alan about it the other day. They want like $6K. I'm just like, damn. Like I wish. It'll happen, man. It's just gonna take some time. Yo, what up, Justin?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's going on?
He got like a fancy ass mic and shit, bro.
I know this dude's fancy.
Damn.
I got all my pretty lights up here, so it's like
he's ready to make a real podcast, and I'm in here like with my fucking duct tape fucking cord plugged in my laptop. Like, I'm bumming it, bro. It's like a crank on the side of my laptop. I have to turn every 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I need. I need to get one of those shock mounts, man.
Dude, it's great. I mean, I was set up with just like the Yeti, like right here, and then I changed all my setup. I got that. I got lights in front of me, man. It's like a whole like they got these like makeup lights. It's basically what it is. I mean, you can get that like ring thing, which is really good.
Yeah,
Tim's got that, so
that's what I have.
But yeah, man, I'll fucking talk Star Wars all night long if you guys want.
Sweet, yeah, fuck it.
The thing about like. So what I heard about Mandalorian is so Star Wars Clone Wars the next season, that's obviously coming out in February. Yeah. They are doing the Siege of Mandalore. So Moff Gideon most likely will show up towards the end of that season. So then it also goes right into Mandalorian season 2.
It's all coming together, guys.
Wow. Is it going to show him transforming from a cartoon character into a man?
Like Real World or whatever? Oh, man.
That's good.
Next season, Mandalorian's going to be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was a given that Moff Gideon's going to be like the main antagonist for the next season. And I can't wait to see the Darksaber, like,
in action,
wielded in action. Like you imagine a fight scene with the Darksaber, Moff Gideon, like that's going to be amazing. Yeah, they're going to have a bigger budget, obviously, the next season too. As much as like this one took off, they obviously had a big budget for this season, but I would imagine it's going to at least double for the next season because it's the main thing like holding up the platform right now.
Plus, you get all that Disney Plus monies.
Hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
I mean, it looks so good too, and that's the best part.
It does. It looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Like,
no
you
other
know.
reason to have Disney Plus besides the fucking.
That's what I said. Like
Yeah,
the
fuck
special,
Gargoyles
the
and the
practical effects.
X-Men.
Yeah,
Who
I mean,
cares?
I wonder how
Yeah,
many
that's
people canceled their Disney Plus subscription after The Mandalorian.
A lot. There's a big article about it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a huge article about it. Like, what's the point of sticking with it after that?
Damn.
Almost like people used to sign up. I used to sign up for HBO when Game of Thrones was on, cancel it, and re-up it when eventually it would come back after 2 years. That's all you got to do.
because it did feel like it. That's kind of like the nostalgia thing, where like you're like, oh man, it's got all this stuff, and then you get it and you're like, I don't feel like watching any of this.
Damn, this didn't age good.
Exactly.
Twice. Now what the fuck am I gonna do?
You're like, oh, I'm gonna watch all these old
There's
Disney movies.
Only
and then
so
you're
much
like,
Darkwing Duck you can watch.
You can
Yeah,
watch Darkwing Duck
exactly.
for the rest of your life. That's all you have to watch.
I've been watching Rebels, like I said in the comments, man. I love
Yeah.
all those series. I watched Attack of the Clones this week, and there's just so many good series. I mean, like, so if you guys don't know, but I watched a thing on YouTube. It was like the best fight scenes in all of Star Wars, and the Obi-Wan versus Maul at the end of Rebels, they say is one of the greatest battles.
that was pretty amazing.
Because it's not about them fighting, it's all about the emotion. Like if you watch it, it's all about how Maul's like trying to get underneath his skin, and then there's just like little tweaks that like Obi-Wan does. His movement from his I think it's like a 3-point stance or 2-point stance, his fighting style, and he changes it. And then Maul tries to do the same thing that he did to Qui-Gon, and he counters it, and that's when he kills him. Because if you watch it at the end, like he tries to butt his lightsaber into his face like Qui-Gon, but he stops that and cuts it all right through and kills Maul.
That was no. I remember watching that. I'm saying, "Wow, this is a kids show."
Yeah.
And then he says something at the end where like Maul is like, I guess he gets like this. He asks him something about is it true or something like that, where it's just like talking about Luke or whatever, and he was like, yeah, like I forgot what it was, but it was that whole scene. I remember was just like really well done.
He says, because the whole thing of him getting mad was, he's like, why are you here? He's like, are you protecting something or maybe someone? He says, and that's when like Obi-Wan knows that he knows something. And then when he kills him, he says, Maul says, is he the chosen one? And Obi-Wan goes, he is. And then Maul goes, what does Maul say? I fucking
Something about
so
will
times.
he something us?
Yeah, he will avenge us.
He will,
yeah, that's what he
I was like, wow, why'd you fight, dummy? Like, should have just left that one alone, B.
Well, there was some video I watched on. There's like a YouTube channel called Star Wars Explained, and it's talking about Obi-Wan's fighting style, about like how him and Anakin fought, and why I guess like Obi-Wan trained as like I guess like a number 3 or something like that, and Anakin was a 5 in the fighting style or something like that, and Obi-Wan's was more defensive, something like that, and that Obi-Wan wasn't really strong in the Force, but because of the way he fought or whatever, or the way he pushed himself to learn everything, he was like one of the best like Jedi or whatever. But I don't know where I was going with that actually.
No, like that's what I just said before. Like he switches up his stance. Normally, the way he fought. Normally, anytime you see him in episode 2, episode 3, or Clone Wars, he always has that. He pulls the lightsaber back behind him, puts his fingers out. Like
he's very like defensive.
But then when he fights Maul that last time, you see him switch it. He does it, but then he switches to a different stance, which, like you're saying, every Jedi has their own stance that they use or style, 3-point stance, 2 points, whatever it is, or 5, and they've gone over that in 1 or 2 of the episodes. I can't remember which, if it's Rebels or Clone Wars, when they discuss it.
Yeah, I always enjoy reading that kind of lore too, because like everyone has their own like little unique things that they do. Like Mace Windu was able to like kind of tap into the dark side whenever he needed to, and fucking go ham on dudes.
Damn, really? I know that.
Yeah, like he had this weird fighting style where like he was able to like kind of tap into the dark side to like just go into like these rages and shit when he needed it. What are you guys eating? What are you eating, Rob? You lotes? Yeah,
I think he left us.
Rowan? 10:44 at night. I'm not eating anything. I'm trying to stay slim. no. But what I was talking about is there's 7 different forms of lightsaber combat.
Right.
And certain Jedi train they are really good at like one of those different styles. And they were saying like Anakin was like style 5. That's why he always fought really aggressively. Like he always like even whenever he fought Dooku, he kind of pushed him back, and he was always really, really aggressive. And that's like pretty much why he had that downfall and was, cut in half or cut his limbs off by fucking Obi-Wan, because he was trying to use that same move that Obi-Wan used to cut Maul in half. But because he was overconfident and was just very pressing, he fucking lost his leg. Lost his legs and his fucking arm.
No, he had the high ground.
That's true, dude.
Well, I mean, he could have waited. Anakin could have waited till the little thing went down the lava a little bit more, and he could have came at him from a different angle. But he literally just jumped straight over him, and because of Obi-Wan's fighting style, he was easily just whoosh.
Yeah, Baby Yoda definitely gonna use fighting style number 5.
Bro, Baby Yoda's gonna just choke everybody.
Oh, jeez.
He's gonna meet him a nice young lady, fucking choke her. She's gonna fall in love. She's gonna be a big titty goth bitch. Like Baby Yoda's fucking.
That chick was in what else was she in? She was in one of the Fast and the Furiouses too.
Yeah, that's right. Shit, I wish James were here. He's such a huge
I
fan.
think it was the first one with The Rock when they go to
and like she kind of betrays them or some shit.
Yeah, or no, yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. She'll be all right.
No, I liked her as a shock trooper. And then with the IG-12, the whole going, I said to my brother, because he watched it with me, and it was like going out Terminator 2 style. I was waiting for him to throw up the thumbs up as he was walking.
Like, I'll be back or something like that.
Like, yeah, I mean, he just like was walking in the lava, like just gonna blow himself up. I was waiting for the hand in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, how stupid were those stormtroopers to just be standing there? He's like, he even like announced like he's about to blow up, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't do anything. Thermal detonators right there, so
yeah,
we're gonna get killed anyway.
I think the gunfights in the show was awesome too, man. Like I said, very Western kind of feel to it for me.
Yeah,
I'm a real fan of those spaghetti westerns and shit.
Also, like I really liked whenever they fucking first introduced the IG-11. Whenever he's going to get Baby Yoda, and that motherfucker's just like, bam, like fucking turning and all that fucking crazy shit like that. That was so kick ass.
I remember that in the trailer that they showed last year at, I guess, Comic-Con or whatever. I was like, oh man, I hope he's in like a lot more episodes, but clearly it was not. Well, was it you saying, I think last time, saying how like Mandalorian is like a video game, like how there's different levels and
yeah, it felt like a video game. Like, you have a mission, you do the mission, then you have like your side missions in that mission, then you eventually get to the mission, and then you finish it, and then you're off to wherever.
Well, I wasn't surprised that we didn't see him that much because it had to be pretty expensive to do his scenes. Like just that one scene alone, spinning around shooting, like that had to be a pretty expensive scene for a TV show because, like I said, it looked amazing compared to the movies. A lot of these scenes were better than what we've seen in some of the movies. So to do some of these scenes had to cost a lot of money. So you
right.
You can only put these characters in so many scenes like that. And I thought they did a good job, though, of having other, episodes where you had just as good of characters. Like I said, with episode 6, you had, 4 amazing characters in there. So it wasn't like you were lacking not having him in another episode. You had other characters to fill those episodes to where,
Yeah, just that episode was, oh man, it was so good. I think that might be my favorite one, just because of like that, you get that sense of panic, like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get out of here. And at the end, when that transponder goes off and it's on I'm gonna call him Elvis because I love Sons of Anarchy. When it shows up on his ship and you're just like, oh, this is smooth.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the best ones with all the that brought me back to Clone Wars, like when the later episodes that had like the bounty hunters in it. I thought that was cool.
I enjoyed it.
Even the one episode with the what were they, like the forest people, and they had that ATST.
Oh yeah. That's whenever he should have hooked up with that lady, but he fucking.
I know, a lot of people hated those 2 episodes. Like, not hated, but people regard that as like the 2 worst episodes. That whole 2 episode thing with the forest people, but. And I thought that was really good.
You get Baby Yoda fucking sipping tea in that fucking episode.
All the kids are just playing with it.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he has friends now. He got to go.
Yeah, he's like, peace out.
Reminded me of my childhood, man. I hated it.
I'm becoming too attached to you guys. I gotta leave now.
Yeah, I really thought he was gonna like leave, and that was it. That was the end of the child. And then that bounty hunter comes from him, and you're like, well, there it is.
Yeah.
There was a second when I did think like that was going to be the end of the child for a while. Like they're going to just side that, for a little bit. Nope. And they come back to it later in another season, but he was going to stay there. And then it was like, no.
It reminds me of like a Shogun Samurai where he has to like bring his son with him everywhere.
Yeah.
People would have rioted. People would have rioted in the streets if that would have been the Donald Trump would have started a war with somebody if there was fucking. He would have dropped a bomb. He would have assassinated somebody at Disney. And
I don't think they expected Baby Yoda to be such a hit because it's taken them a little bit to get this merchandise out too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard that they didn't. The merchandising, I've heard it wasn't anything to do with them thinking it wasn't going to be a hit, anything like that. It was because they didn't want to spoil the character because they knew it was going to be a hit. So they didn't want to get merchandise out there early and ruin the surprise of that character. So that was like the biggest reason.
People are still gonna buy it. I know my wife is gonna buy everything.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah. Every single thing, baby.
There's like one of him eating a frog that I really want.
Because I'm so glad I didn't see something on the internet before the show came out with like merchandise or a spoiler. I mean, it totally caught me by surprise the first time seeing the child. I was like, holy shit.
I'm sure Disney's very protective of their shit anyway. I mean, remember when like Endgame came out and then you saw everybody with their suits and shit, so you kind of got an idea. Even like Lego was spoiling shit for Endgame.
Yeah.
With this, like you didn't get any of that. Like I feel like they're so protective of Star Wars. They're like, we'll bring everything after it's out. So like I'm sure we're gonna get more like the Last Jedi stuff. Like I need a Palpatine figure of him fucking on the crane, like fucking flying around like that. Like I need it. Like it's such a badass thing. I was like, that's my favorite thing. That's one thing he didn't hate in that movie was fucking.
I love that part. That's so fucking. It kind of reminded me of like almost like some Hellraiser type shit. Like that fucking shit was so cool. Like
creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Creepy. Isn't there a thing where he's like there's like a cyborg Palpatine? Isn't there somewhere in something?
In Star Wars Battlefront 2, there's the Messenger, which is like a robotic, and it has his face.
Yeah.
And that's all about what that storyline is. What is it? Project Cinder, and like what happens after the fall of the after Endor.
Because didn't he like also like cloned himself a bunch, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of. I don't know if that's canon. If that's considered canon.
I don't think it's canon.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Disney.
So if you had to choose like a sideshow statue piece, would it be Palpatine in the throne or Palpatine hooked to the fucking thing?
Dude, definitely hooked to that thing, bro.
No, fuck that. The throne was tight.
Throne was
the throne was
That's
tough.
what I mean. For me, it's the throne.
I'd get it if it was a throne for sure. Anything with a throne sideshow would look good.
Yeah.
It's a throne, but then you can attach the little crane to the throne. Hang it all out like that.
And you gotta get the changing of the face. You gotta get like the old, like what he looks like before he takes their life force.
Oh
yeah, it's like a fucking really old guy.
Kind of messed up that Palpatine didn't clone like his wife or his grandma. It's been nice if they had.
That, bro, he only cares about the Force. That's all.
He's like, "Fuck you, woman."
Yeah.
That man never had an ass. Come on.
Yeah.
He's all political.
I mean, he had to have some ass because he had kid.
Yeah, that was just thrown in there.
Force babies. Force babies happen.
But so does it say who? Like, is it his son that had Rey, or is it?
That's what it says. It's his son.
It's his son.
Son.
He had a son.
Okay.
So he had to.
He smashed somebody.
He's fucking somebody.
Jimmy Palpatine definitely fucked somebody.
So now that like Palpatine came back in Episode 9, and people have always thought throughout all these years that Darth Vader was like the greatest bad guy or villain. Do you think Palpatine now pushes, Vader out of that, because now that he really is the whole episodes 1 through 9, if you think about it?
I always thought Palpatine was the ultimate.
Yeah,
Sith.
Yeah, for me, Palpatine's always been the ultimate. Yeah,
Well,
because Vader did turn into the good guy. Like at the end, he redeemed himself.
And Vader was never really like a bad guy. Everything he was doing was, to fucking save Padme. Like all that was like him being manipulated. I don't think he was ever just like, man, fuck all these guys. I'm about to.
Everything he did was out of love.
Yeah, everything was to save, and then it was just like, I guess out of like regret, he was, I hated when he picked the Emperor up and was like, bye, dude. That shit was so, and like his body's all so straight. It was.
He gave him the Ultimate Warrior fucking press.
that shit was like, I was like, man, how come? Like, and that whole fucking nobody can just be bad. The bad guy can never win. That shit makes me so mad, dude. Like,
oh, I agree. I thought Ben Solo was gonna die a fucking villain, man. I think he was gonna be here.
Too.
He should have. That was my biggest problem with the new movies, is that Ben should have died a villain, because like I said earlier, friends of mine were saying, oh, he's going to redeem himself in this movie somehow. I'm like, you can't redeem yourself after killing Han Solo. Like, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, it fucking happens. He redeems himself and becomes a hero. I'm like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, he killed
Disney, man. The power of Disney.
Yeah,
I mean, he don't want a bad guy to win.
People, like, he was ultimately responsible for the killing of the Senate. When they killed he was behind that, right? When they did the
Order 66.
Order 66. He was behind that, right? So it killed billions of people there.
But at that point, it wasn't owned by Disney. That's what it is.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
He killed that many people with not Order 66. That's Palpatine. I'm talking about the last movie.
They destroyed that whole planet.
Oh, when it's Star Killer Base. Star Killer
Base
kills the 5. Yeah.
Yeah, he was behind that, right? So, you kill all those people, then you kill your fucking father, and now you get to be redeemed. I'm not buying that.
Yeah, that's weird.
I can't
imagine
get
if you would have
behind
lived. It would have been like, wait, you did all this, and we're just going to make
Vader
you good
killed
again?
children.
Yeah.
So to me, I was just like,
yeah, but I was out of love, bro.
It's like, fuck them kids.
Kill children out of love all you want. That's the only reason to kill children, is out of love. Like, you're trying to save your wife, you got to kill all these children. I mean, you just got to kill children for love.
Yeah.
That poor kid was like, what now? He's like, time to go. You'll be one with the Force soon.
And you guys were talking about the like the timeline of movies, and I had this conversation with someone the other day. If you look at episode 1 to 2 is a 10-year gap. 2 to 3 is about 4 to 5 years is the Clone Wars. 3 to 4 is about 20 to 30 years. They say into Empire is another 3 years, and then it's a 1-year gap between Empire to Jedi. But these new movies they're literally like episode 7 into episode 8 is so quick. It's like episode 7 ends and then it's episode 8 it's not like years pass and like Rey has time to mature herself, or even like you guys said how like their friendship like can blossom. Like, it doesn't happen. And even
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is there room for the comics to take place in between these movies?
But there's no room. Like 7 to 8, there's no room. Like, at all.
There's no way to explain anything.
Yeah. 8 to 9 is the only thing, but I don't, they have never said how long. I mean, it'll come out like how long episode, 8 to 9 is, how much training she had and stuff like that. But it's great that there is such a big gap between the older movies, because you can flush out so much in, yes, like you said, like the comics, or, with Clone Wars, with Rebels, with the Solo movie, Rogue One. There's so much.
Yeah, you'll get that filler in there, But this one, if it's right after, it's kind of hard to explain. Like, all right, how did she learn how to force heal? How did she learn how to
that's
fucking...
true. It seems like 8 and 9 is the biggest gap that you have between the newest trilogy. Like 7 and 8, there's not much.
And I think you guys had the map up too. Like, what is it? Star Wars Resistance happens during 8, and Galaxy's Edge is also in between 8 and 9.
It's a real tiny, like 1 week later, Galaxy's Edge. I don't know, but whatever. It's done with. We'll see what they do now. I mean, I want to see more. I want to see more shows. I want to see what Obi-Wan did in the desert for all that time. I'm sure there's some adventures to be had there.
Well, I wish
that's the show I'm looking forward to the most is the Obi-Wan show, man. I cannot wait for that.
There was. I mean, to me, one of the biggest things I didn't like is there was still they could have not done any of the Kylo Ren, Rey, any of that stuff, and they could have still told like Luke's story, Luke and Leia's story, and it could have still been like it was. You had these 6 movies that had all all about the Skywalkers or whatever, and then it's like the rise of the Skywalker, and it's a ghost. It didn't make any sense. Like, I'm supposed to just believe that like Luke's like, okay, I'm going to this island, I'm done, and then he dies and turns into a ghost. Like, come on, dude. Like, they could have gone more with Luke's story instead of just fucking. Well,
was Luke the most egregious of all the things they did in the new movie? I mean, they did him pretty dirty too.
Yeah.
They could have got more out of him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All he did was complain.
That was kind of like a jab.
Drink alien titty milk.
He drank the titty milk.
Throw the lightsaber off the cliff.
Yeah, it did, and they kind of threw a jab at the last movie when he said something like a lightsaber deserves more respect than that or something.
Oh yeah. Whenever she throws it, and he catches it.
Along those lines. And that was kind of a jab at the last movie, and but yeah, they did him really dirty in The Last Jedi.
I would have liked to see him turn to the dark side, like after fucking.
Luke can never turn to the dark side. Like, that's why like that movie pissed me off so bad, because Luke is the ultimate farm boy, good guy, and to see him like saying "fuck the Jedi," and that was my biggest problem with those movies is how they portrayed Luke, because like I said, Luke was my childhood. I was born in 1977, saw the first movie, the second movie, all that when I was a kid. And so like that was my hero. And now they took Luke and I'm watching him. I'm so excited to see Luke, and then he fucking throws the lightsaber over the cliff, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's basically like the whole movie saying "fuck the Jedi."
Mm-hmm.
It's
it
a
was
lost
weird.
Cause,
Even when like at the end of the Force
discipline.
Awakens, and you see Rey like holding out the thing, and he looks at her the way I look at Jehovah's Witnesses when they knock on my door on Saturday mornings. I was just like, he does not look happy to see this woman.
Like that, like that was my biggest problem, was how they portray. And Mark Hamill said as much in a lot of the interviews. He didn't like how he was portrayed. Didn't like how Luke was done. That was really my only problem with those movies. It wasn't so much the not having Rey's parents explained. It wasn't the 2 biggest problems people had was Snoke and Rey's lineage explained.
Well,
I didn't have any problem with that, because
it's just the way they built Snoke up.
Yeah.
I thought Snoke was gonna be that dude, right? Like, oh, he's gonna be unstoppable. You expect this real epic thing to happen, then he gets
cut in half, bro.
But I always knew something was up with that. I always knew.
Right.
I felt like something was up with that, and I felt like I knew that like we weren't gonna. That wasn't gonna be the end of Rey. Like, she's hearing who her parents are from the Sith. So I knew, like, when I left the theater, I didn't think, that was the end of the story. But the only thing that was definite was how they treated Luke, and I was like, that's bullshit.
right.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Not my Luke Skywalker.
Well, there you go. Start that hashtag.
Yeah. Not my
Dark side Luke. I want to love that shit.
Damn.
And they tried to redeem him a little bit in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did like what they did with him at the Last Jedi when he came out. I mean, that would kind of explain, right? Like being able to pass thing as a Force ghost or fucking just using the Force or whatever. Because he did give Leia like Luke's dice. I mean, Han's dice from the ship.
Yeah,
right? Like,
that was
so
interesting.
that would explain maybe where Rey maybe learned that from, or where Kylo learned that from.
Yeah.
But then just him and that whole battle, I thought that was great. That was probably my favorite part of that film, was like that reunion and then Rey taking on Kylo and everyone else, and then it being just a lie. And then he disappeared, and I'm just like, I'm looking around the theater like, this is some bullshit, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, that's just the way they had it planned out and was written. So I don't know. I tend to try to like be more optimistic about the shit that I see and try not to like crap on everything. But like some things is just, it's hard to do and hard because you can't explain it, right? Like they threw Rose into that second movie. I'm all for like whatever, like throw whoever in as long as they're good. But she wasn't that good either.
She
Like
sucked.
it was not good. So I'm kind of glad like her role was kind of like, all right, I'll just stay here and you guys go off and do your thing. You know, I won't join you this time. But again, I don't know. I just felt like there was too many weird decisions made, and at the end they said, okay, this is just what we're gonna do now. We're not gonna explain how anyone learned any of these powers, or you know, shit that I've never seen anywhere, discussed anywhere. You know, even me, I'm like, oh, maybe that was in Legends, and I tried to look it up, and I really couldn't find anything. So, again, I just, you know, I did enjoy it. I'm glad it's done, and now let's move on to like, I always said like, give me a good bounty hunter movie. Like, I don't need the Force, I don't need lightsabers. There's so much more to like Star Wars lore than just that. Like Jedi, there's a ton of other things you could do. Like, you know, let's get the fucking Inquisitors in there. You know, let's get the bounty hunters in there.
So I said,
When
I
you
want
talked
a
about
Cad
Rogue One,
Bane.
I mean that's one of my favorites. I mean,
agree.
my girl is not a Star Wars fan at all, but we went to go see that, and she's like, "Wow," she's like, "That's really good." And I go, "Yeah, well, you got to watch episode like 4 because how that ends is how the original trilogy started." So,
Right.
and my brother just watched that last week, and he goes, "Dude, that was such an amazing turn at the end, like how it sets up episode 4."
Yep.
Like I said, I want to see a Cad Bane series. You know, like fucking.
It's like a horror.
That's a bounty hunter series I want to see. Like, Cad Bane is one of my all-time favorites from the Clone Wars. You know, love that
I
character.
still don't think it was him in that scene though.
I think it was. I'm holding out hope that scene with the Spurs, everything was Cad Bane. It's Dave Filoni, man. He wants to see his characters come to life.
I dig it. I mean, there's a ton of people I like to see a live screen. I love Thrawn.
I want an
That-
Ahsoka
Thrawn is
movie.
amazing.
Ahsoka
Yeah.
would be awesome, right?
Or aren't they going to
Ahsoka's
do
the ultimate.
a
I
series?
agree. Huh?
Aren't they doing an Ahsoka series on Disney Plus?
I haven't heard that.
I've heard
That
that.
would be
either.
Other than her coming back for season 7 for Clone Wars.
I thought they were going to do a solo thing for her.
That would be a good idea. I think she has enough of a fan base where they could do it.
Well, that's where like you get so much like you get clouded if you like try to make sense of the movies versus the animated because you know you have Ahsoka Tano who I love, a lot of people love, and with Rebels, you know, you're like you love her, but you're like, bitch, where have you been the whole fucking time? Like this
Hiding,
whole time
man.
we were fighting battles. Like, where have you been? You know, and it's like if they were to introduce her in any storyline throughout Star Wars, you would still be like, where have you been? What have you been doing? You know, kind of thing. So it's so hard because they've put. Yeah, it's hard to place a character in a timeline because so many timelines have been put out there that like to put a character in a certain timeline. There's always going to be questions about what have they been doing since then, you know, so it's tough if any of that made sense.
I actually want to actually see a Star Wars film. Lucas did some great battle scenes in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Yeah. JJ and Ryan didn't do great battle scenes like Lucas did with the clones and Trace. Yep. I agree. Those movies had some crazy battles.
But I mean, like, you want to see. So you got obviously we've all watched Rebels, and I mean, Rebels ends with post like Return of the Jedi. So, what's his name? What's the freaking kid's name? And I just watch it. The Padawan.
That's
Ezra?
Ezra.
Oh yeah, Ezra. So like Ezra is like there at the end. Like Ahsoka comes to find Sabine, and she's older,
That's
and they're
my
going.
point exactly.
They're looking for her, and like maybe Thrawn's still alive, probably not. But I mean, that'd be cool to see something post that, whether it's like Rebels.
That's my point
Part
exactly.
two.
Like, she shows up with Ezra, and I'm like, bitch, where have you fucking been? Like,
Yeah. Well, and then again, she shows up at the end, and
Anakin's
she's like an
been
older
Vader.
person. Like,
You know, like Luke's been trying to save the galaxy. Like all this shit's going on, and now you just show up like out of the blue with fucking. Yeah.
Like Tivo said, all out war and dogfights in space. And I agree. Like
Yeah.
when I was younger, like it wasn't like the lightsaber or the force shit that got me interested. It was like the dogfights, the battles in the ships and all the machines and dudes running to Han Solo is like my favorite character because I'm like, wow, this dude just has a gun. He doesn't need all that other bullshit, you know.
I still think
that's what I like.
What I think one of my favorite scenes, and I remember seeing in the theaters, and I remember my jaw dropping, was Revenge of the Sith. How it starts off, and it's the big ship, and then it just comes, and the way the fighters come down, and then they turn down, and it's over Coruscant, and you see all the Trade Federation and the Republic ships fighting.
I love that scene.
That like blew me away. Like I was just like, this is awesome.
Civil War,
that was
Mandalorian.
episode 3. That's still like when I put that scene on. Still, I'm blown away by that scene because how it starts out with the little ship, and then like I said, it dies down. And you see this whole battlefield taking place. Like that's still like top 10 Star Wars moments for me when I watch any of the movies.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think I gotta say Rogue One was like it stuck out because, you know, Alan should like it because fucking the bad guys did win. I mean, technically, well, the good guys died.
They weren't Sith though, so I don't really get it.
And then just Vader like coming out at the end, you just see a red lightsaber light up and just going to town. I never seen a theater react like that. It was like a Marvel movie reaction to Vader, where they were like, "Yeah, just kill them all," and I'm like, "Wow, all right."
It was kind of like that scene where you see like the Weapon X Logan and where it's like you're not expecting it and it just fucking happens and you're like, "Fuck yeah, dude!"
Yeah, those little moments of like, all right, something cool just happened.
I mean, that's like the whole reason you watch these kind of movies. I mean, I watch them because I want to see fucking action. I don't really care about, like love interest and shit like that. Like I want to see people fighting. Like that's my whole. I want to see people fighting. I don't care about.
Yeah. What Tim just
Lords
said.
of the Long Box had a good point right there too. That's also one of my favorite scenes. Is Attack of the Clones when the landing of the ships with Yoda and all that, and they go into the dust. You have the clones like shooting into the dust, the dust and all that. Like that's an amazing scene as well.
I was actually watching that scene today at the gym. I was running on the treadmill. I was watching the last like 20 minutes of that
scene
movie.
Is amazing.
It is,
but it's so perfect because it sets up. Like if you've never watched Clone Wars, the TV series, it's just like it literally, like Yoda says at the end. He says the Clone War, and the Clone Wars have begun or whatever. It's perfect. I mean, and you watch that entire series because I mean, all right. So I'm born in '82, so I missed all of them originally. But I remember when I was young, and I first watched New Hope, and you hear Obi-Wan. He says, "Oh, I fought alongside your father in the Clone Wars," and for years. You always wanted to know what the Clone Wars were.
What the Clone Wars were, yeah.
And then like you got it. Like you got at the beginning with episode 2 and the end of episode 3. But then when Filoni like takes over and does the entire series, you're just like, there is so much great stuff. It exposes so many characters.
That's the question I've always had is like, was that George Lucas, the genius, or was that something that was like later? Like they just realized that they said that and we're like, oh shit, we can actually make that into a movie. Like, did they actually know back then they were going to do a Clone War? Like, if they actually knew back then, like this whole Clone Wars thing, that's fucking genius. Right. But I highly doubt that they did. That would be pretty amazing if they knew like they were leading to this.
Mhm.
I mean, for me, like watching like General Grievous, I'm like, man, this dude's so kick ass. He has a terrible cough, right? Reminds me of my grandpa because my grandpa had a terrible cough, was a smoker. And then he pulls out 2 lightsabers, and then he pulls out 2 more. I'm like, oh my! And she starts spinning. I'm like, this dude's wild. And then like, what I like is like take those interesting characters, get into like their lore, right? Get into their history, like how did they become who they become? You know what I mean? Um, that's what I like. I like action, but I also like backstory on like really good characters. Like this, I could care less for like some other characters, but like Grievous is a dude. Boba Fett's a dude I like a lot.
Well, yeah, we need a Grievous backstory for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, he's awesome. But now I think with the success, with how successful the Mandalorian was, I'm sure we'll get more of these stories. I've been a big guy, big like Boba Fett. Like we need a solo Boba Fett film. Have him not necessarily being a good guy, but like let's see what he could do.
I think that was the problem, is because Solo did poorly, and that was what we were supposed to get. Every other year, we were supposed to get the next part of the trilogies, and in between, you're supposed to get these solo
Right.
movies. So Obi-Wan was supposed to be one, and Boba Fett was on the docket, but because Solo did so bad, which it really didn't do bad, it was marketed terribly because it came out right before Avengers.
Yeah.
That was the issue there. But I mean, yeah, I would love to see like solo movies just straight up like that. And I think you talked about it. I don't know if did you talk about it about fuck. I lost my train of thought because I went into
Sorry.
something else. I can't remember. Go ahead.
That happens.
They were going to do a Yoda one too, weren't they?
Really?
Yeah, I think it was on like the ideas.
What do you think about them? I keep seeing shit on Facebook where they're talking about doing
Yeah.
an Old Republic movie.
Yeah.
Maybe.
My wife was
Old
like,
Republic would
I
be
heard
amazing.
it's in development, like Knights of the Old Republic, which would be great. Like I'm all for it. There's like so many awesome like Jedi. There's so many awesome Sith. There's so many Jedi that became Sith that became Jedi again.
Mhm.
Like those are awesome stories. Just the story of like Darth Revan would be awesome to see. Dude's just so badass.
Oh, yeah, because I've always said that's the greatest video game I've ever played was Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, there's no greater video game that I've ever played in my life.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Talking about Knights of the Old Republic, the best video. You ever played Sonic the Hedgehog, bro?
This fucking game sucks.
He saves a bunch of animals at the end of each level and jumps on board.
You guys think that Dr. Afro will ever make the jump to something?
Oh, dude, I hope so
Yeah.
because I love Afra.
I do
Like,
too.
she's one of the
I
best
thought I
things-
wouldn't like that book, and then I started reading it. I'm like, holy crap, this is
Dude.
good.
Dude,
Yeah.
Afra's
This is a
one of the
great
best
character.
things to come out of Marvel comic Star Wars books. I love that character.
Well, didn't that the Darth Vader book catch some heat because they were saying that it was speculated that she was going to be in the movie, but then never was. There's like it's Darth Vader 3 or something like that?
Yeah. No, I think there is talks for her to have a show on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Dude,
Really?
Between that,
great.
I mean, we've even talked about on Lords of Longbox. Sabine's going to get her own show.
Well, you would think with the women's movement right now, she'd be a prime candidate. Yeah. Lesbian. Come on.
But also like characters that people are not going to complain about. Like, don't force this character on me. You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Sabine's not one of those characters you're not going to get that with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ahsoka's not one of those characters you're not because these are characters people just like because of their character. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk
Afra-
about. Did you talk about on the last show Captain Phasma and how shitty she was?
Yes.
She wasn't like pushed with that agenda from the get go. You didn't know she was lesbian. You didn't know like any of that stuff, and like it just progressed as it went. What?
Are you talking about Sabine?
No, not Sabine. I'm sorry. I've been drinking too much. But Afra, you didn't know, like Dr. Afra, you didn't know going into it like she was lesbian. You didn't know that about her, and she took off anyways. And then it was it's almost like a side note that she was lesbian. And then that became the draw, like the love interest between her and the Imperial lady. I forget her name. what's the
I'm so far
imperialist?
behind on that, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she had like that electronic embedded in her face, or whatever.
Nebula? Was it Nebula?
No, it wasn't Nebula. But that was like a side thing with her. You fell in love with that character,
Right?
and then like first you fell in love with that character, and then a side note, she happens to be lesbian.
Right.
But you already loved her. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, but she was like
she's
a lesbian, a lesbian.
Yeah.
What?
We're just talking about how many times Roy said the word lesbian.
He said it a lot.
I said it a lot. I'm
He
sorry.
did say it a lot. It's all right, man.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, we were talking about Dr. Phasma. Didn't she have a comic too? I didn't even bother.
Yeah,
reading it.
the freaking cosmic that like 5 issues or 4 issue little mini was the best thing that came out, and then like you see her in the 2 movies, and you're just like, that sucked.
And she got wrecked by a scrub. If you think about it,
Very
right? Because
disappointed.
Finn was like a custodian.
Oh, I thought you were talking
He worked
about
in the
that.
shitter and takes out like one of the best bad guys.
It didn't make sense. So I'm like, all right, I guess at that, I think at that point in the movie, I was just like, I just accepted anything that happened. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Finn
Finn
would
did-
start using the Force to move things around, and it was.
Well, you got to look at it like it took. When we watch like episode 4, 5, and 6, and you're like, everybody obviously Boba Fett, who has zero time on these movies. It took you how long for him to finally get a backstory and then flush him out a little bit more in Star Wars Clone Wars, where I mean, yeah, he's still a kid, but he at least is into the bounty hunting. But you never really see him as an adult, and you always loved this character. And the only way you actually knew anything about him was from Expanded Universe.
Yeah.
Like Phasma is the same way. I feel like Snoke is the same way. Like maybe they did them wrong, but the only way you'll know anything about it is if they ever go back and do like pre-episode 7 to find out more about Phasma's history or Snoke, or if you really want to.
Like what he just commented right now, Lords of the Logbox, the Knights of the Ren, with that new Kylo Ren series, they go into them they're going to go into more of Knights of the Ren. I was very, very let down with that shit.
Mhm.
It was very disappointing. They look so kick ass, man. Like they look ridiculously kick ass, and they kind of. I mean, was it The Force Awakens where they kind of show them like were they training with Luke, or was it just something that he just kind of formed himself?
I know. I think Kylo recruited them
Okay.
from that Jedi temple or whatever. That was they were training with Luke, I believe.
Yeah, because I almost want to say like they were all training, and then they, I guess, like for whatever reason, Kylo was like, "Fuck this, dude, you suck. I'm gonna do my own thing," and then they all.
Because he thought Luke was gonna kill him.
Well, I mean, he should have.
But what happened? Was it that it was too dark in there, so Luke turned on his lightsaber?
Yeah.
He tripped and it flicked on.
It was a big misunderstanding.
Well, what sucks is the writing for all those movies was just horrible, man. Like they were beautifully, like they all looked fucking amazing. I just feel like there was so many plot holes, and just the writing was so all over the place. And it was like you're having to follow the story of these many different characters. Like it was just a lot to take in. Like I still wanted to see Luke Skywalker be a Sith. That's all I really cared about.
Man,
It was too
the
much.
thing is, yeah, it's just like 7, 8, and 9 are just they're not. It's not a trilogy at the end of the day. Like I just can't watch. I mean, I watched 8 for the first time the week before the last movie came out. I saw it twice in theaters. I bought it on Blu-ray. I never watched it again. Like when I saw it in theaters, because I was just like, this movie's terrible. At the end of the day, like the writing is just bad. Johnson did a terrible job as far as directing this. I mean, half the movie you have all the characters. They're all over the place. You have them in space, like fighting, the whole ship thing where they're just being trailed by like the entire empire or whatever. It's like, really, this is what this movie is, and somehow these other people got off the ship and went to this cool casino planet.
Yeah,
and they met some Force kid, and it was a waste at the end of the movie. Like,
Oh man.
JJ had to do a lot. And I've read a lot of stuff on Reddit, and like he really wanted 2 movies.
Well, okay, I missed some of that because I was pissing. So, were you talking about how the vision of like the 7 through 9, like how much of that was JJ and how much of that was Ryan?
I mean,
like, because that was my biggest question, was like, was that really a cover up on the last movie, or was that the intention all along? Because for me, I don't think that was. I think the vision like was always there. Like it was always going to be that they were going to act like they didn't know who Rey's parents were in the second movie, and then there was going to be the big reveal in the third. And I felt like Ryan got a lot of, flack for being that conduit between the two movies, but they were always going to end up with,
I feel like
Palpatine.
Ryan took more of a risk and made it 8 original, and that's why I feel like that's why people hate it. Because if you look at 7 and 9, they're literally rehashes. I mean, 7's A New Hope exactly, and 9 is
exactly
pretty much Return of the Jedi. Like
I mean,
at the end of it.
honestly, in 8 they should have revealed Palpatine as the grandfather, because then you have something to build on for the next one, where you don't have to like discover that whole thing again.
That was my thing. I feel like that's the only reason people hated 8 was because they left the theater saying, "Oh, this is bullshit. Rey's nobody. Snoke is this character we built up, and he's fucking nobody." That was like the biggest thing. But I felt like you got the payoff in this movie. That's because I never, like I said from the beginning of the podcast, I never left that movie thinking that was the whole story. Like Rey's comes from nobody. Snoke, I knew there was more to it. So I feel like Ryan is getting a lot of flack for just being the guy setting up the next movie, and like you said, taking chances that nobody else took in between there, setting up more of a
I think if he would have done 9, it would have felt more like a trilogy. But the fact that he didn't, they went back to JJ because JJ did a good job. Is he had to? I think JJ's vision was starting at 7, and it got screwed. It got screwed throughout 8, and then he probably had something ready set for 9, and Disney just steps in. I'm sure Disney steps in and says, "Oh, I want to do certain things," but then they're like, "Well, no, you have to do this." Without a doubt.
But do you think the story was the same no matter what?
I don't think so.
No.
You think that they were actually going to say Rey was nobody? Like,
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I think Rey could have been. I don't know. I think if you would have had like track betting and thought Rey was a Palpatine, man, that would have been like 1,000 to 1 shot.
Oh yeah.
I would have.
They had 3 different writers for all the movies, didn't they?
Yeah. Why was there a switch
into this big of a trilogy not having a beginning and an end? So I feel like they always had a beginning and an end, and then they left it up to the writers and the director to figure out the in between. At the end, I feel like they always, said like she's going to be Palpatine's granddaughter. Like I feel like that was always the plan. And they said, figure it out in between.
Just figure out how to get there.
Just figure out how to get there, but that's always going to be the plan. Because you don't go into this big of a trilogy without having all that set in place. I just don't believe that.
Right.
Yeah. It's not like the Marvel stuff. They got that stuff way in advance.
Right. They're not just winging it.
Yeah, no, they're not winging. It's not. That's what I said. Like, people are like, oh, JJ just came in and fixed all this. I'm like, no. Like, this was always the plan.
What was the reason for the change?
Rewrote some stuff.
And directors.
I think JJ's scheduling. Because he never and that's what I feel like they should have, when they announced that JJ was going to do it, they should have just been like, we'll pay you for 3 movies. Like, you did great on, Star Trek, the reboot, the first 2 movies at least. He did a great job doing other movies, so why not? I mean, there's a big rumor that he's taking over the DC universe.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. You heard that here on Comic Book Fiend Club, but
you heard it here first.
Can you imagine, like him to start it over and him to actually create a universe? And his stuff is good, without a doubt.
Well, he did what?
Brightburn.
Yeah, he did Brightburn. I fucking like that shit, man. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
It was good. I hope he makes that his own little universe too. Like I really want more of that
Well,
movie.
'cause at the very end, they kind of hint at like the different, kind of like bad versions of, what was it, like Aquaman and
Wonder Woman. And
yeah. So I mean,
Hey, I'm in the minority, but fuck JJ. I think they need to bring Snyder back. I fucking love Snyder.
I liked him,
I
and he
think
did
Snyder-
Watchmen. Did a great job for that.
Dude, Watchmen was awesome.
I did like
Batman v
Watchmen.
Superman was awesome. Like, I love that fucking movie.
Really, Batman v Superman.
I think Justice League would have been awesome if they would have kept.
They
it
needed
with
more build for
Snyder.
that, man. I don't know. I wasn't feeling. The best part of Batman vs Superman was the Flash showing up, and that was it for me. Like, it just.
Dude, I think there's
it's
so
too
many good
much.
things of BBS. I love
It's
like
hard,
so
man.
many parts of that movie.
Really? Like which ones?
So many. Like,
Name every
yeah,
part you like.
I'm too drunk for that right now, but I could name a lot. I mean, just for one, the opening scene with Affleck running into this, the smoke-filled, destruction of what Superman just. I think they led into it so perfect with what they did with Superman, and then you get Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, who I think is a perfect Bruce Wayne, running into the aftermath of that with the smoke, the dust, everything. Then you get, him going into, Gal Gadot. I mean, there's so many things like the espionage.
Gal Gadot was awesome.
Yeah, Gal Gadot was awesome in that movie. I mean, there's so many, the Frank Miller aspects of that movie where he's standing there in the iron suit, waiting for Superman to come down. I mean, dude, I could go on and on about the awesome parts of that movie.
I enjoyed some of the movie, but when I went to the theater to watch it, I'm not even gonna lie, like there was a lot of people I guess that weren't too interested in it.
Shit was boring.
There was some part that I think
it's
just
not boring.
dragged
It's
too
like-
much, man.
You got to watch the
did-
whatever. The ultimate cut is the way to watch it. I can't watch
That's
the
what I'm
regular
saying.
version.
That's
the
how I feel
Ultimate Cut's
about
even
most of
longer,
Snyder's movies.
but
Like
it's so awesome.
Watchmen, the
Mhm.
Snyder Cut, awesome. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? From I hear, the Snyder Cut for like Justice League is supposed to be really good, right? Like we do get.
That's why we want the Snyder Cut released for Justice League. I think.
I don't want that shit.
You're gonna watch it. You know you are.
I mean, the whole Doomsday even being in that movie was just fucking pointless. Like that was just too much. Like have Batman fight Superman. That's it. Like
Some of the CG in like both of those movies were weird. Like Steppenwolf looked terrible. No,
I thought he looked
For
good.
what?
I think
Justice
Steppenwolf
League.
looked
I
good.
didn't like.
I thought
yeah.
Steppenwolf looked good.
let's talk about how fucking small Cyborg was. Like that motherfucker.
The Flash's costume looked like a bad cosplay. I'm
Oh,
not
the
gonna lie.
Flash, the way he ran was like it was fucking super weird, like super fucking wonky. I like Ezra Miller. He was a good Flash. I just
I do
Ezra
too.
Miller was good. Yeah.
Didn't like his costume.
The only thing I didn't like was like I thought it was Justice League. I thought it was a great movie. I just didn't like the cinematography on a lot of it. I
That's
think
what
the color
it is.
palette and everything could have been
At that
way
where everything
better.
was like red at the end.
Yeah,
it was
it
just
red,
weird.
and, like I hated the cinematography. It was like super red, like really dark. Like I think if they took that same acting, the same character, because everybody says I love Ezra Miller, I love
Right. Aquaman was great.
Aquaman. I love
You missed
I
Aquaman.
love all these characters,
hate
but
Aquaman.
it's just like the visual effects of it, and I think a lot of it was because of the cinematography, because of like how
How it
red
shot.
that last scene looked. Like,
There's a part where he's fucked. I can't remember if it's. I want to say it's in that movie, Batman or Justice League, because that came out before Aquaman, didn't it? Justice League,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he's like taking he's drinking Jack from the bottle and then he throws the bottle into the water. That's not Aquaman, dude. And he was. It was just. I don't like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. He's like
I
a
do.
bro. He's like a bro Aquaman.
I dig it.
I don't want a
I
bro
like it.
Aquaman.
I dug it.
I
like
Alan-
Aquaman in general and Wonder Woman.
Alan,
and
do
I
you
think I'm
how
gonna
I
like
ended
Wonder
this
Woman
with
84.
Batman?
I like Aquaman in general. I don't like Jason Momoa as an actor. He's not a good. I mean, he went from Count Drogo to fucking Aquaman, throwing fucking Jack Daniels bottles.
Momoa is a good actor. But have you watched C?
Nah.
Apple
You ever
Yeah,
TV?
watched him on
It's
Baywatch?
good. No, I've never seen Baywatch.
It was on Baywatch.
Dude, that show C on Apple TV is pretty fucking
Really good? I gotta
Yeah,
watch it.
it's good.
Well, it's
I
like
gotta sign up for it.
even in the Aquaman movie, I liked fucking Ocean Master way more than I like fucking Aquaman.
Yeah.
Really?
The actor was just better. I mean, that movie was fucking trash.
Dude, I was so
Oh.
bummed. Like, I really do like everybody.
like the movie?
I like everybody that they cast for these parts. Like Ben Affleck was the perfect Batman. Jim
I like
Caviezel
Ben
was an
Affleck.
awesome Superman, and like they're all gone, and you still have these like Gal Gadot making. Like, I wonder what's going to happen with DC now because they're still going to make Wonder Woman. They're still going to make Aquaman because they're so popular that So, what do you do now with
You get a new
Superman
Batman.
and Batman?
Kitty.
Aren't they making the trench?
I heard that too.
That's stupid. They shouldn't make that shit.
I was like, why? Don't do that.
Well, you saw the thing that The Rock post, right? On
Yeah,
his
Black
Instagram?
Adam. It's coming
Yeah,
out
the
in
Black
December
Adam.
2021.
What was that, hey, Alan? What was it that
Fucking Kevin
Hart said?
Kevin Hart commented on that fucking post. He said,
Did he say like, "Where's Honky Pete"?
Yeah, where's
Honky
Pete?
Oh,
Dude,
shit.
he's so much bigger than like The Rock is so much bigger than fucking what is this? The guy who plays Shazam? Like it's
Oh, Zachary Levi?
yeah, he's
Yeah,
fucking
Zachary Levi.
giant compared to Zachary.
Well, Zachary Levi, that was all like fake.
That was a lot, some
muscle,
padding.
too.
I mean, he got in shape for that role for sure.
but he's
Yeah, but most of that was padding.
But
The
most of that
Rock's
was
not gonna
padding.
Need any padding?
The
Nah,
Rock's like a fucking monster, dude.
The Rock's just gonna put on that spandex and sit. It's done.
And I like The Rock, but I don't like The Rock as Black Adam.
He's gonna be an
I
awesome
think he's
Namor too.
perfect. I don't think he was perfect for Black Adam. As soon as I heard
No,
Rock associated with Black Adam, I was like, "Fucking."
But The Rock's
perfect.
been wanting to play Black Adam for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Like
he's been pushing
that's
his name
like,
for a while.
Yeah, dude. Like he's wanted that role for a minute.
Yeah,
I can't take The Rock as like a serious actor. Unless they're gonna make it like a kind of like comedy, fucking Kevin Hart's gonna be somebody in there too, like
Hunky Pete.
Honky Pete and Black Adam. Like he's not a great actor. Like The Rock is not a great actor. Like he's fucking cool. He seems like a really nice dude, but
There's some stuff I do like The Rock in. I think he has his niche and he kind of sticks to it.
yeah,
I think
was
he could
good- he
play
was
a
good
Black
in,
Adam. He
what's
could pull that off.
Yeah.
What was
I
the
think
movie where it's like him, Mark Wahlberg, and
the
Anthony
bodybuilding
steroids.
movie?
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that
good
was
in that
good.
because he's not
He
the
was
main
good.
character. Like
yeah, but even that he's kind of like dumb. He's kind of like a dumb.
You're not gonna see him in drama. Like you're not gonna see him in those.
The
kind
Tooth
of
Fairies?
roles. Right?
the two there. Was it the mouth one? The fucking
yeah, whatever it is.
Oh gosh.
yeah. He's just
Standing tall, whatever, walking tall.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
He was good in that.
That was a good
That was
one. I
actually,
liked it.
yeah, he was actually good in that movie.
That was a good
Yeah.
remake. Hell yeah.
That was when he was not jacked.
still, like in those movies. He's not like a serious. He's kind of like that fucking like Joker, kind of like joking around kind of thing. Like it's not like a like. I mean, to me, I think Black Adam is more of like a serious, like menacing character. It's not like
I want Black Adam to do a rock bottom from space,
Yeah.
all the way down to Earth.
people's elbows somebody like. What is that movie that he was in where it's like Kevin Hart, but he's like friends with The Rock in high school, and like The Rock's like a fat kid, just like
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
like Central Intelligence or something?
yeah.
By the way, the powers of Honky Pete, he has deep pockets, so he could hold all the superheroes' keys and wallets and shit while they fight. The Rock's a clown, man.
Oh,
I think I don't know. I'll save judgment till like I see a trailer or something.
He looks. I
but-
mean, he looks the part. I just
Mhm.
don't think that he has like the. I mean, like to me, that's kind of like Wesley Snipes saying that he still wants to play Blade. Like
I'd watch it.
I
I'd
would-
watch the shit out of that.
I'd watch it right now.
I
I'd
didn't-
fucking watch the shit out of that.
it's after the third one, there was just no coming back.
Man, how cool would it have been if they actually put Morbius in there? Because they had that end scene
Yeah,
that I guess they cut from the theater. But
Really?
yeah, there was a scene. I don't remember which Blade it was.
it was
I
the
think
first one. It was the
It
very
was the
first.
first one.
Yeah,
There's a guy on the roof looking, and it's actually supposed to be Morbius, and then
Huh.
they cut it.
where he's like in Russia or some shit like that at the end of the
Mhm.
first one. Yeah,
He sees him on the roof or whatever. You gotta look it up. It isn't one, right? I thought it was in 2 for some reason, but yeah, it's supposed to be Morbius.
I want to say it was the third one, or the first one. I don't know.
But it never made it to screen.
I'm excited to see that dude play Blade. The guy that what's his name?
What's his name?
Herschel Ali.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him play it.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He was just in, what was he in? That Alita Battle 1, Battle Angel, whatever.
I haven't watched.
Well, he was the bad guy in
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cottonmouth.
Yep.
Yeah, I dug him. I wish
Yeah.
he didn't get killed off in that first season.
He was in a movie called The Green Book as well, where he plays like
Yes, he was a doctor, but he played piano too.
he's like a homosexual lesbian.
Lesbian.
He's a lesbian piano player.
I like a lesbian.
Did I tell you he was a lesbian? Nobody knew it, but he turned out to be a lesbian.
Lesbian doctor piano player.
Yeah.
His name was actually Dr. Lesbian. Damn, dude.
I feel like we've veered off the topic of Star Wars a little bit.
Well, that's what happens, man. There's always so much Star Wars.
Before we end on this, I want to. Do you think Baby Yoda is a clone?
Oh,
A clone of Yoda?
Yeah.
that's a.
You think so?
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Because I mean, whenever he takes him in to, I guess like turn him in and collect his reward, you see that doctor, and he does have the little like clone insignia from the Attack of the Clone.
Camino.
Yeah,
Camino.
he has that little.
Really? I didn't even notice that. What?
Yeah.
Damn, imagine the Empire was like cloning Jedi. Some wild shit.
Well, that was like in Rebels and Clone Wars. They are looking for force sensitive kids, so
Yeah.
that could be why. Like
But the problem was Yoda ever that fucking powerful? Like where he could do the shit this kid's doing? I mean, this kid's doing some pretty amazing shit. Like,
I mean, he's 50 years old.
Besides,
too.
yeah, like was as a kid, but
I mean,
besides the healing,
doing besides choking some bitch while he's fucking arm wrestling?
No. besides the healing, like didn't he do like some crazy shit? Oh, the fire. Like he held off this fucking inflaming inferno, killing everybody.
Kanan does that in Rebels. Kanan Jarrus does that when he dies.
This is a fucking toddler.
Yeah, but
they need to check his midichlorians.
That's what I'm saying. Like how, like
Wasn't
if
Yoda
this
like
fucking toddler can do that, how powerful was fucking Yoda?
Yoda was a boss, dude.
yeah, Yoda was like the most powerful.
Then why didn't he just wipe Palpatine out? Like if he's that fucking powerful, like does
'Cause
that
the
mean
Sith are better.
Palpatine? Does that mean Palpatine is that fucking powerful?
Because the
Like,
Sith aren't bound to like rules like the Jedi is. Like there's a certain line I don't think Yoda will cross. He's like, yeah, if I cross this, there's no coming back from this line.
well, apparently this Yoda doesn't give a shit.
This Yoda doesn't give a fuck. It's also a baby. Do you know how temperamental babies are too? Like
this
don't care.
Yoda will force choke a bitch in a second.
I ain't going to bed. Ugh. You go to bed forever.
You want? I know with my kid, I'm like, you want a spanking? He's like, no. Like,
Baby Yoda will be like, yeah.
I'll choke you, son, and then fall asleep and pass out.
yeah.
You got to tease that you have force powers, like use it on your wife or your girlfriend, and be like, well, if you don't want to listen to me,
Get out.
My girlfriend would be like, I like that. So I mean, I choke a bitch from across the room. She'd be like,
That'll be funny if Yoda's choking somebody. They're like, yes, daddy. And
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
harder. Like that, what is that,
shit.
that meme that has like Jeff Goldblum like choking the two girls, and they're like one.
Yeah, one is like the innocent girl, the other is like his dark fucking fantasy
Yeah.
or some shit. Yeah.
Oh, fucking Jeff.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Jeff Goldblum in Star Wars would be great.
I saw a good meme today. It was Peter Parker in Avengers Infinity War, and he's like, hi, my name's Spider-Man, and it's Ray, and she's like, hi, my name is Ray Skywalker. He goes, and then he goes, oh, we're using our made-up names now. I cried. It's so funny.
That's pretty fucking funny.
That's
That's pretty funny.
Man. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Star Wars, man. I don't see them making any big movies
No, I think
in
it's
a
burnt out.
while, like
No,
10 years.
I think it's TV shows from this point on. Like,
TV shows and maybe
Video
some
game.
Disney Plus
which,
movies.
from a revenue standpoint, I gotta think they're making more money. I mean, I could be wrong, but for me, it seems like they're making way more money off the Mandalorian and the future promise of revenue from Baby Yoda than what they're making off of Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I don't know how much Disney is paying, or I don't know how much anybody's paying anybody for, the revenue on Mandalorian, but it seems like there's way more to be made from that than Rise of Skywalker. I could be wrong. I don't know. But
Well, I got some toys from McDonald's from Rise of Skywalker. I had to buy a Happy Meal, so they got me with that.
and that's the thing. Like, is there more revenue still in the movies versus the TV shows? Like,
I
Yeah,
think there was a lot more.
As much-
There's so much marketing. The marketing between like a normal movie, just the marketing alone is just insane. I mean, with Mandalorian, it was Disney Plus. Like you knew about it because Disney Plus just threw it in your face.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's not. That's where I think about it because I'm like, as popular as Baby Yoda is, everybody that's downloaded Disney Plus is probably everybody that's gonna download it has probably already downloaded it.
Right.
So they're not making any more revenue from that source.
Besides the toys, I mean, I can only imagine how much money Disney's gonna get now from the fucking toys from Star Wars.
And that's what I mean. Like, and that's the only other revenue that they have is the Baby Yoda toys.
And I'll tell you,
but like you just said, like McDonald's, like you know how much fucking money McDonald's has made from the Rise of Skywalker toys and the Happy Meals. I bought fucking I don't know how many Happy Meals.
I'll tell you what. I work for a pretty big retailer. Star Wars Legends, Legos, those shits fly off the shelf. Like you could barely keep them in because people just come in looking for that. I seen guys just come in buy like the whole line of Black Series, spend like $200-$300 on them.
That's crazy.
And just flip them or whatever. But like, it's true. It's they're making. I mean, the show's gonna make them their money, but like that merchandise,
the movies still make more at the end of the day. Yeah.
Right.
I just looked on Google from November 12th to the 24th. The Disney Plus mobile app for iOS and Android was downloaded an estimated 15.5 million times, with 86% of those people just in the U.S.
But if you think about it too, you could also share your account info with a couple of people at the same time.
Yeah, but 15.5 million people, and what is it like $10 or something like that, or $7?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you look at it like that, if it's $7, but so here it is, it's $7, and all four of us could watch Mandalorian. All four of us to go see a movie is $12 times 4. You know what I mean? Like, so it's. I think, it's different. It's a lot higher in the movie theaters, but in movie theaters they always want you to just buy popcorn and soda. Like that's where they get their money. But
that's the realest thing right there.
I mean, it's 105 million people in 13 days, or $105 million in 13 days.
Jeez.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen more merchandise from the Mandalorian. Like, as much as it's taken off, and like I said earlier, I get a lot of it was because of the secrecy, but it's been out long enough where you would think we'd see way more merchandise by now than what we've seen, to where they can make that revenue that the movies have made.
They have I saw a Mandalorian pop the other day.
Oh yeah, they're coming out. I saw a bunch of them.
Yeah, we got those in too.
The fucking little robot dude.
But I mean, you gotta realize, man, that Disney Plus only started not even 2 months ago. It started November 12th.
Right.
So
yeah, they have like a
even
lot of
2 months.
There was the fucking the robot, and there was a Cara Dune robot. I know they had or not Cara Dune robot, but a Cara Dune pop, and they had fucking the Mandalorian. So I mean, I'm sure they're making money for sure off of that Just
Yeah,
Yeah.
pre-order.
I mean, it's good. It's good that, I mean, so Mandalorian's done. What's the next thing coming out of Disney Plus?
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars. And then after that, you're gonna start getting into your Marvel stuff with Soldier of the Falcon, WandaVision.
I think WandaVision is the first thing that comes out.
Well, they pushed up. I think TiVo said that they pushed up the date for WandaVision. It was supposed to be 2021. Now it's 2020.
Yeah, the end of the year. I
So
think.
it's kinda like that.
And then there's the What If. That's
The
also
What
I
If
think
series that
that's
I'm
this
looking
year.
forward to. I mean, that's all they need. They just need to keep pumping out some shows so that people just stay watching it.
Yeah.
Like,
As one show ends, another show needs to start.
right.
Even if it's, I mean, they'll get to that point, but
I'm looking right now. The 4 confirmed Star Wars TV shows is Solo. There's an Obi-Wan show. The Cassian Andor,
yeah, that's right. They talked about that.
and then the K250 show. They're all confirmed Disney Plus shows.
Are we gonna get a show on the Huts? I'd love to see it.
Probably not.
Fuck, imagine Game of Thrones with the Huts.
How's there not an
move.
Afro show? Dr. Afro, man.
It'll
Come
come. I'm sure
Bro,
ittle come.
Can you just calm yourself with that shit? You're getting way
I'm
too
like,
for the.
I'm like,
Where's that stuff? He's the lesbian.
I got the book over here. I'm like,
Gosh, it's terrible. It's so good. Sticky pages. It goes to CGC. Could have opened it. It's pages stuck together. Green label.
Don't grade this copy.
There's a clear coat over this whole house. It's already
Stored.
No, it'll just the greater notes just say water stains.
What? Wrinkles.
Yeah.
Someone spilled
Foxing.
donuts. There's a nice glaze on there.
Hole in page 12.
Yeah.
Incomplete.
Panel missing.
Effect story.
Yeah, panel missing. Wet around the panel where it was gone.
But there was no coupon in this book. Why would there be a hole?
Every time they say lesbian, highlighted.
yeah.
Her name is marked out in every single panel. Lesbian wrote really big and sharp above it.
What can I say? I like lesbians, man. Come on.
We all know how you love lesbians.
You cross it out and put it straight.
Can't wait, man. This is so awesome.
Did anybody pick up the Star Wars 1, the new comic?
I did not.
I didn't.
You?
Star Wars 1 recently or the
one that just came out like last
No,
week?
yeah, this week.
The
I
new
didn't know they
volume
recently
2, like,
did.
post
I was gonna say it's a volume 2. But no.
Empire Strikes Back. Is that how it is?
No, I stopped after. I ended up taking it off my pool after like 48 or 50. I can't remember where it was, but like I loved LaRocca. Like I think it was LaRocca that was doing the art.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was amazing. And then as soon as he stopped doing the art, and I don't know, it just kind of tailed off for me. It's kind of at that point I was like, I'll just collect it in trade paperbacks at this point, because I've been collecting it for at least 2-3 years now. I think it's been going on.
Wow.
Am I saying it right? LaRocca?
Yeah, Salvatore LaRocca. Yeah.
Dude,
I did it. Yeah,
like,
I did the same thing. I
you
think I did it
either
to,
like
40.
him, you either loved him or you hated him.
You hated him.
A lot of people hated him, but like that was it for me. Like for me, I thought he was perfect for the series. Like I loved, the art he was doing. And as soon as it got to the next artist, I can't remember who their names was. I couldn't get on board with it.
Yeah, sometimes that always depicts a good story. I mean, I remember I loved when they did the Vader Down, and
Vader Down was awesome.
Mike Deodato was doing the art.
Yeah,
that was
Vader Down was
amazing.
awesome. I love.
Yeah, Darth Vader Down was amazing. I love that one.
But yeah, I stopped after like 40. I did the first series of Vader, and then I stopped. After I did a little bit, I sold off everything except for like variants. The only one I actually kept was the Kanan Last Padawan, which is only like 12 issues.
Yeah.
Oh damn! You should show what you found the other day, Alan.
Oh, I don't have it. It's in my car.
Oh.
I found. I've been wanting this book for a while. The Star Wars Tales 23. Is that what it is? Star Wars Tales 23. It's the first Raven, and what's it? I think it's Nihilus as well. First Nihilus. Or no, first Malik. First Malik
Oh,
and Revan.
I just picked up a set of the Shadows of the Empire at a local comic shop. They were like $2 a piece.
Nice.
So I want to read that, and that's a good. I remember playing that game like on N64.
Yes,
That needs to be canon. They need to bring out those characters.
I wish they would do a fucking. I liked what is it? The Force Unleashed. I really liked that game.
Force Unleashed was really good. Yeah,
it was good.
And he was like what? He was a clone of Vader, Starkiller.
In the first one, I think he was in the first one he was a kid, and then at the end of it he dies, and then he's a clone.
Yeah,
in the second one.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd watch that movie. I remember that game was so fucking kick ass though.
Oh yeah.
I'm
playing Fallen Order right now. I think that shit's awesome.
I'm like halfway through Fallen Order right now. I'm digging it. I just don't like the kid that plays.
Oh, I like it. It's a kid from Gotham. I think it's awesome.
Well, he does the voice acting.
Yeah.
See, I don't watch Gotham, but what I know him from is Shameless.
Okay, yeah, and that too, yeah.
So, and I hate him in Shameless. So I'm like, oh, this fucking kid, like gotta watch him now. Yeah, and this, like,
yeah, he looks. He's good. I mean, I like the Inquisitors because that's something that
I only made it through one season of Gotham, and I don't know. I just couldn't get behind that show. Yeah, I couldn't get behind that show.
It's a good show. You're an idiot.
I heard Watchmen was really good. I gotta download.
Watchmen was fucking amazing.
Yeah, man. They
that
did
needs
some
to be
shit
the next
in that
podcast,
show.
dude. Watchmen.
Yeah, dude. They did some shit. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, it's
I was
really
just
good.
saying earlier. I want to do a podcast of Watchmen. We're talking about the original comic, the Snyder movie, the comic book, the prequel comic books, and the HBO TV show. There's so much to cover in those like 5 mediums that they did. Yeah.
Before Watchmen was fucking horrible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like before Watchmen, that's the prequel ones I'm talking about. That was terrible.
Yeah, it's fucking
terrible. Then you got like, what I like about. I don't want to get into this too much. This might be like a spoiler for the next podcast, but like, yeah. What I like about the TV show is that they're following the comic book. The HBO series, they're following the comic book by Alan Moore with the alien centipede or whatever they are coming down to Earth, to where the Snyder movie kind of changed it, and it was a nuclear holocaust or whatever, something else. So I like those different. But at the same time, I love the Snyder Watchmen movie.
So the series
stands alone.
Is the series like completely? Is it during the? Is it the original like 12 issues or?
No, it takes place
after.
It takes place like years after.
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
so I know
years
where
after.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Most of the characters from Watchmen have aged a lot.
Yeah, and
they're old as fuck.
There's a lot of callbacks. There's a lot of callbacks too, which is pretty. I mean, there's one particular thing. I won't spoil it, but like it was like, oh damn, that is crazy. So that definitely a good show to pick up and watch. I don't know the name of the actress in the show, but she's really good too. Forgot her name.
Talking about the main chick?
The main chick, yeah.
Even that the older lady, I remember her from some shit too.
But it's like everybody has their own take on the Watchmen, because you have like the Snyder take, and then you have the prequel take, and then you have the TV series take. Like, it's so interesting to see everybody's take on. And then I just finished reading the Doomsday Clock today by Geoff Johns, which I thought was really good. That's what made me want to do the podcast talking about Watchmen. Was reading the Geoff Johns take on Watchmen because it was really good.
And
that got me thinking like it did. Like that's why I got like 4 issues in, and I'm like, fuck this. I'm not reading this until everything comes out.
I did the same.
So once like all the issues came out, I finally just decided to read everything today and got through it, and it was actually really good. And it got me thinking back on the series of like, all the choices everybody has made and their interpretation on John and the comedian and all these characters.
Alan Moore is somewhere yelling, shaking his fist.
Yeah, Alan Moore's just like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, Alan Moore.
Lesbian.
Lesbian.
Alan Moore's like, I should have wrote more lesbians.
Well, at least, but he came out with those books in a year. I mean, it took 2 years to come out, like 12 issues. It was just,
it took too long.
That's why Alan Moore's a genius.
I think that's why it turned some fans away to just the length of time.
Yeah, Alan Moore was the ultimate genius, man. Like we could do another an hour just talking about him.
Not a lot of people like him though.
His Swamp Thing is the best.
Yeah.
For me. I mean, in real life, he's a douche. I've watched a lot. I've tried to watch a lot of his YouTube videos because I'm just interested in that guy and the genius of Alan Moore. But I try to watch these videos and I'm just like, oh, this dude's a fucking douchebag. He's just
nuts too.
He starts talking about magic and the realm of
magic though.
Realm of magic and mysticism. Where are we?
Well,
really
isn't
from?
he like a Wiccan
yeah.
priest or something too?
He's something
dude's
crazy,
out there, and
he's fucking.
I try to
out
listen
there.
to his interviews too. I just get lost. I'm like, I don't know, but the Killing Jokes is really good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I can't get into his interviews, man. They're fucking out there.
Yeah, his views are definitely different.
Yeah.
But his writing is superb. But I think he just gets he's had falling outs with his artists and shit like that too. Especially
he had this whole fucking big thing about who was the better magician between him and who's the dude? What's his name?
David Blaine?
Chris Angel?
No. He wrote X-Men for a while and Grant Morrison. Him and Grant Morrison had this big feud forever of who was the better magician. And it was an actual feud. These dudes weren't fucking around. They were really trying to dispute who was the better magician.
They'd see each other and make cards disappear and shit.
What's that behind your ear?
No, look at these flowers. Take that, Alan.
No, it was crazy.
So weird. It's eccentric, man. I think most writers like that are though. They're kind of out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except Chris Claremont, he's not a nut. He's actually a real nice guy. I was waiting for him to sign a book for me, and he stopped eating his breakfast sandwich to take a picture. I was like, "Oh, so nice." Thanks.
He was so mad afterward. He was like, "Fuck this guy."
No, I gave him $5. It was good.
I'm gonna buy another breakfast sandwich.
I was like, "Eat your breakfast sandwich, my dude. You're good."
Where was that? Was that Baltimore?
That was at New York. He's such a nice guy. He's so chatty with fans and shit. He's cool. I like him. I would love to meet Alan Moore though, just to be show him a magic trick and shit. Have a magic battle with him.
You just have the 3 rings, and you're like,
I'd be like, "Oh, Alan, what's this?" and pull out a coin.
Then he hates you for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
you're pulling handkerchiefs out of your mouth.
You are my arch nemesis.
He's like, "Stop it,
Jedi!
Stop it!" Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, it's 1 a.m. my time.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's
I could just drove over to your place.
I know, right? Just drive right now. Just pull in.
We'll go get some food. We'll go to the diner.
I'll be up for work in 7 hours. But that's fine. I don't care. I don't do nothing in my job anyway. I'm kidding. If my job watched this, I work really hard.
I love my job.
Anyway, Justin, thanks for jumping on late, man. We're going to definitely have you on again.
Yeah, we definitely got to do. I'm doing the comic swap in Jersey, February 29th. So anybody who's watching,
I'm gonna swing through
in Roselle Park. So let me know if you want to set up or if you just want to roll through. Anybody else coming through? It's definitely gonna be a good time. If you guys see me, I am on 3 Men in a Basement as well as Lords of the Long Box. I am Nemesis Prime. Thanks guys for having me.
Follow him on IG. Follow the channels. Good stuff. The Fiend Club will be at the Super Jersey Comic Book Expo March 21st. We'll be set up there with a nice little booth. We'll have some books for donation to raise money for a charity. I don't know what charity yet. Might just be Juan's charity. We'll see. No, I'm kidding. We'll have some books there, and the funds will go right to a charity that we'll figure out by that date. We'll be having a live show. We'll be interviewing people. Good times. Rob said it's only 10 o'clock because he lives in Cali. Such a jerk. The Fiendcast will be back next week on the 14th. And I think that's it. You guys have any announcements over there? Anything going on in the South?
I have a mixtape coming out.
Oh boy. What is it called?
It's called I'm opening up a car wash also. That's the name of the mixtape. I'm not actually opening up a car wash.
Lesbians.
Yeah.
Lesbians.
Yeah.
Lesbians Volume 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to be opening up a lesbian swap shop. Yeah. Yeah. Come on down.
Lesbians only.
Lesbians only.
Oh man, thank you everyone for checking us out tonight, staying up late with us tonight, and we'll come back at you, let you know when we're coming back on again. Till then, peace.
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 Oh my god, I was so tired.